G'day everybody and welcome to the first edition of the Drafternoon collaboration between streamer.com.au, the home of community sport, and Baseline Footy. My name's Nick Rinn, joined here in Perth by Hawthorn Premiership player and top five?
Top three, mate. Top three.
Xavier Ellis. And over in the Melbourne studio, we got Nate and Iggy. Boys, why don't you say g'day?
G'day guys, how are you? What's up fellas, how are we? Thanks for having us.
No worries at all. We've been waiting to work together for some time, so I'm glad we can get this up. So, basic idea of this, guys, is we're just going to watch along with everybody else, give our 2 cents. We've obviously got a few highlights from the boys who've been out at pretty much every under-18 game in the cold corners of Victoria over the year. Boys, why don't you give us a bit of an overview on what you do and how you came about the idea?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, of course. It's been a couple of years in the making now. We are... A lot of people probably know this, but we started as Baseline Hoops a couple of years ago, started as a small training platform and then turned it into kind of a basketball media platform. But growing up as big footy fans, it was only natural that we took it over to the AFL and covered the draftees. So it's been about 2 years now, and we've been at pretty much every Coates Talent League game, Waffle, Colts, Sandford, you name it. We've been there and covered it.
Well, boys, there's a lot of people like me that need to thank you guys because without you, Harley Reid wouldn't be arguably the top 10 most popular AFL player because you boys have given us some wonderful gear over the last couple of years and kept, in all seriousness, the novices who love AFL, a little bit like the college system in America where you get the eyes on the kids. So what you're doing is wonderful, and it's certainly kept me up to date as much as possible.
Yeah, thanks so much, mate. I think we were, those are kind words. I think I was looking at it today and I think we've done over like 5 million views or impressions of just Harley Reid alone in the last 3 years, which is ridiculous. And that's just a new set, like that set of eyes has never been on the junior leagues like before. So it's pretty crazy, honestly.
Give us your top 5, boys, from the year, just players you like to watch, you like being out there.
The top five picks are pretty solid. You know, there's some elite guys. You know, Harley Reid's obviously super interesting. Nick Watson for us was a big one. We've covered him the last 3 years, same as Harley. Just a jet. Had some major speckies, some major highlights, just a highlight machine. Jed Walters, just a big man. Zane Dersma, kicking goals. We're just big fans of honestly, the top 5, top 10 is pretty strong. It's pretty strong this year, I think.
Yeah. If you had to pluck one, guys, that might have been sitting in most people's draft guides in a 30 or 40, is there one that you wouldn't mind seeing as a bit of a Hail Mary in the early first or later first round? Is there a player that's caught your attention either in the schoolboy footy that you think might have been out of sight that might rocket up the boards tonight?
Yep. Yeah, there was a few boys that we kind of looked at throughout the year who have jumped up. I know Hawthorn CJ has a younger brother who he's probably in that 20 to 30 range, and he kind of came out of nowhere. Didn't get a big country gig. Didn't get a national combine invite either. So we think he's going to come up the board. He's pretty exciting out the back line. Gippsland Power Boy, and then a few other boys. Charlie Edwards, we watched at Melbourne Grammar and the APS all year. Averaged something like 40 touches a game, but really only got his recognition towards the back end of the year. So those are kind of 2 boys we're looking at, hoping get an early pick, but also have good stories behind them.
Jeez, they've gone straight to my heart. Gippsland Power and Melbourne Grammar. I'm absolutely rooting for those boys tonight. You've gone my 2 under-18 sides. So, hey, just quickly before we do get to the draft, sorry, Nick, if I'm diving in.
But, no, go for it.
TAC Cup footy in Victoria.
Coates Talent.
Is what's called?
It's Coates Talent League, I think now, is it?
Well,
there was something else like 2 years ago.
And APS. That's right. And the APS footy system. Just you young guys going out to watch the footy. Do you enjoy the school system to actually watch it, or more of the talent league?
Yeah, they're different. They're very different, aren't they? Talent league runs, obviously the whole year, and then the school year is kind of in that middle slot. The boys that are on scholarships in those APS schools, they have to play for the APS teams. And so you kind of lose them through the talent league through the middle of the year. So it kind of changes. you're going to see some of the boys that are sitting kind of on the bench come to fruition in the middle of the year for the talent league, and then the APS. It's just in terms of being fun to watch. Yeah, it's pretty fun to watch the crowds and the stuff like that. And
when you put up to those big rivalry games, the Melbourne Grammars, the Scotches, where they're pulling 3,000-4,000 kids, and the cheer squads a chance, and I don't think you can beat that.
Grammars over here.
He's loving the Melbourne Grammar.
Nothing like those as Dave Ellis and Tommy Hawkins running around, right?
I'm just watching the pre-draft stuff. Jonathan Brown's in a pub or somewhere on the Gold Coast. There's more people in that pub than there are at their games. The pub is absolutely chockers.
Mate, it's a hub of nightlife. I know I lost about a year of my life living on the Gold Coast. Preamble's going. I don't know what time we're expecting the first picks tonight. They're saying the first round probably going to go as deep as 38 with all the academy and the father. 28. Sorry.
I was going to say
I've got a threshold. It's not 38.
So probably going as deep as 28. Why don't we get your read, boys, on the academy stuff? Gold Coast going to get 3 free swings. So I looked at this, right, as being an inaugural Gold Coast member, thinking, like, this is wicked, because I'm from Queensland. I'm like, I wonder where these kids are from, like anywhere near my town. But no, your man Jed Walters from Perth, Jake Rogers is from Melbourne. I'm not sure about Ethan Reid. I think Ethan Reid might be a genuine Queenslander.
No, he's from Darwin. Just make it up.
Darwin. Yeah, he's from Darwin originally. Didn't make their way up. I don't know. Give us your take, boys. What do you reckon about the academy stuff?
Yeah, it's pretty strong, isn't it? Like, it's you could make the same argument about the father-son. You see a lot of comments on Instagram about, it's rigged, it's unfair, it's all that. And we saw Jamara, a couple of years ago as well, get through the Bulldogs Academy, right? And so it's kind of like, I don't know, you could argue it's unfair, or you could argue it keeps the strength of the club, or I'm not sure exactly.
I think it's a fair play, knowing that the Melbourne teams get those father-sons, and the Gold Coast, the Brisbane academies don't necessarily get it.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not Brisbane Academy, though, with the old Fitzroy boys. But let's say Gold Coast, GWS. I think that's all right. But potentially something that the AFL might need to look at over the coming years as they start to kind of grow their base of players. So, but you know what? Gold Coast have done well for themselves this year. I think 4 boys potentially going first round.
Not a bad shout, is it?
Jed Walter, Jake Rogers, Ethan Reid, and then the 4th boy. What's his name? I'm forgetting his name. Sorry, mate.
You're testing us now.
John Smith, I think it was.
We're going to put this out there real early. This is not the place to come if you want forensic detail about everything. More about we're right about the vibe of a lot of these boys. We only got up to 20 here. I'll find out. Let me do my research.
Hey, boys, it's obviously heavily social media, as I mentioned earlier. Have you got any of these young lads that slide into the DMs when you might feature them or whatnot? Who's the serial DMer?
No, there's no serial DMers. They keep it pretty cool. They keep it pretty cool. But there are a lot of boys that might not be on draft list tonight that are DMing us. So maybe that's an indicator.
Right, okay.
Yeah, this is. I found that. So we found that with Streamer too. We stream all the Waffle Colts games and push out the highlights, and it's always the boys who are in contention go nowhere near it. But the guys who are no chance, they're pushing every single goal they've ever kicked in their lives. Fair cop. I'm still waiting to see. I don't know. First pick's going to be West Coast. Nick Nat's over there?
Yeah, Nick Nat's flown over there. He also has some other interests over there for the week, so he's. I think he's going 2 birds, 1 stone, old Nick. But he'll be presenting the jumpers tonight, and I mean Harley Reid has mentioned that he's pretty keen on number 9. It's a fair jumper too, isn't it? Ben Cousins, and then of course Nick Nat retiring last year, but the flying Fijian, he'll be there. He'll be there tonight. And he'll be out tonight too.
Mate, he just had his second kid. You and I know, like as soon as you get a leave pass, you make the most of it.
Talk to me about this number 9, boys. Obviously, you guys over in WA, there's a bit of talk about him getting the number 9. Is it a heritage jersey, or is it just a fact
revered, mate?
Nick Nat.
Mate, if Harley Reid put his hand up and said he wants Nick Nat's house at the moment, I think that's the love and the need for Harley Reid, that West Coast will give him anything. And knowing personally, having been in Melbourne for 8 years and then Western Australia footy for a few years at the end, it is unbelievable the opportunities that pop up for the players. Like, for example, the rookies drive sponsored cars, and it's just outrageous how big West Coast can be in a two-team town.
You got a pretty good car when you came over?
Yeah, one with a beacon light on it, and had been in the mines for 2 months. But Harley Reid will be treated like absolute royalty. Ben Cousins was royalty. Nick Nat was royalty, and I think it's only fair that Harley Reid slips into the number 9, which will look good on him.
Yeah.
But there's no real heritage in the jumper. It's just the superstars have had it.
Yeah, well, this is true. Oh, here we go. We got the big dog up for his first draft.
We've got the post ready to go, just giving everyone a sneak peek. Got the
You've gone early. I like it.
You're going early. No, you got to get that going.
Go on, just back yourself in and just send it.
Yeah, that's what we did. The Josh Giddey pick a couple of years ago in the NBA, we sent it 2 minutes early.
And nailed it.
So we're watching this without audio, so we don't know what he's saying. But
You can't rip the audio off, can you?
no, we're staying away. We're staying away. Oh, Muppet. So Muppet in our super producer Andrew Henry on in the background. It's just texted through that Peter Wilson will the number 9. I think we might be might be a couple of generations removed them up there.
I'm not sure Harley Reid's come for that jump presentation. Great player, but he loves Nick Nat and Cuz.
Was Peter Wilson cork in the ocean?
Not sure.
Not
sure.
Yeah.
Dance committee, cork in the ocean. It was about. It's going to take me a fair while to find you. Yes, Muppet says yes.
Muppet
He was
says
cork
yes.
in the ocean. Muppet says yes. If it's happening in WA football, Muppet knows.
Oh, I don't want to say anything in case they're doing something really respectful at the moment. You know,
like someone's mum's died. Or
something about something. I'm just not going to tell them to hurry up because I can't hear a thing.
Doing a welcome to country, and we're just telling them to get lost.
Just move it along to pick one. No, thank you.
Yeah. No, you better to bite your tongue. Whilst we do this, Coldplay was awesome on the weekend.
Yeah, you went to Coldplay. I didn't know people felt that strongly about Coldplay.
No, it was unbelievable. Hey, what do you mean?
I thought Coldplay was just always, they were just a background sort of band.
No, that's outrageous.
But people frothed them.
West Coast on the clock.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Here we go. I tell you what. So they're taking the piss if they sit there for 5 minutes. Put your chest out, shoulders back, roll up to the lectern and just go bang. With pick number 1, we're taking Daniel Curtin.
What are they talking about here?
I reckon they're waiting to see if the phone rings.
Yeah, what do you reckon if North Melbourne came with 2 and 15 and they took it? What do you reckon the West Coast fan base would be doing tomorrow?
Burning down Lathlane as a start. I just don't know whether North. Look, I'm an advocate for trading this pick 1, which they won't, and trying to get as many young, talented kids in as possible, just because of the situation West Coast have found themselves in the last 2 years. So that's personally what I would have done, but they're going to sit there and wait for no phone call. It's like my love life when I was a kid. The phone never rang. What?
Shannon Humphries reckons Harley will go to the Eagles. I agree, Shannon.
I think you're spot on.
Yeah, no, he's got the insight. Oh,
they put something in?
trade is in.
Yeah,
Trade?
What do you reckon? Trade is in?
Bullshit. Yeah.
Later, bro. You got us down bad.
Oh, God.
We've got this
Number
post
1
ready
pick
here.
is in.
The pick is in. I'm going early on it. Everyone go like our post, fellas.
Yeah, go early.
I'm going early.
We've sent it. That's
Yeah,
wild.
good.
We hit it on footy. We're going to hit it on West Coast as well.
Daniel Curtin.
Here we go.
We're deleting it if something else happens. We're
What's
deleting
this?
it. We've got our finger on the delete button.
They've got this trade recap graphic up next to pick number 1. That's they're teasing us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what got me. That's what killed me when it popped up. Not a lot of words being spoken
No,
in
it's
this
not.
room. Unless someone needs to crack a joke or something, I don't know.
They all look a bit sad.
Yes, it's pick one, guys. Get up, crack a stubby and celebrate.
They don't want that pick, mate. Too much pressure on them. Maybe they're taking Dan
Do you
Curtin.
reckon-
Maybe they're just preparing.
Maybe they've pulled the rug.
There's no
Do
way.
you reckon Harley Reid is daylight better than the former number ones we've had over the last period, or do you think we're just covering through guys like you underage football a lot better, and we're sort of following the journey a little bit more, and people are falling in love with the players a bit more?
I think it's a mix of a few different things. I definitely think he's probably one of the best number ones we've seen, but I think two things contribute. Number one, probably our coverage and the AFL's coverage of him, which I think he's sitting at like 35,000 followers now, which is more than everyone except for I think Nick Dacos a couple of years ago. But I think also just his play style, like putting clips out there every second week of him stiff arming someone into the ground. I think that helps you be pretty likable. So.
Gee whiz, I'm grateful these guys weren't around when I was coming through.
You reckon?
A skinny bloke that he looked unwell.
You reckon the Hawthorn fans would have been a bit upset about going so early?
Here we go.
Oh, okay, we're on here.
The pick is in.
You guys have got a lot riding on this next 3 seconds.
Mate, 300 likes in a minute.
Harley Reid.
There it is.
Yeah, Harley. There we go.
Look at
Pick
his
one.
mates.
How the cookie crumbles.
How early do we go on pick two, mate?
Yeah.
Go early, boys.
Roll the dice.
Go early.
Who do you guys have for pick 2?
Well, it's got to be between Walter and...
Surely let's go Walter and get it out of the way.
Yeah, it depends. Normally, like some clubs like to pick their pick and then go. We've actually got...
feel better about themselves.
Yeah, why don't we dial in? We've got joining us straight after pick 1 was a top... Well, pick 4, was he? Oh, let's bring him in. Luke Jackson from Freo Dockers.
Over the top. There's a chance here for Roberts.
G'day, Jacko. How are you, mate?
Onto the left foot goes.
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, we're going all right. Thanks for jumping in.
Nah, all good.
You just knock off?
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, just parked the car and got on the potty.
Nice, mate. Some good memories for you. Draft night a few years ago. It didn't take long either to find some success, but moving to Melbourne, obviously first. How was your draft night?
Yeah, no, it was a good night for me and the whole family. We went to Marvel Stadium for it, and it was a good night to remember. So yeah, had a lot of fun draft night.
The beard's done a bit of work over.
Yeah, I'm curious
over
about
the off season. How long's the old the chin hair been going?
Yeah, nah, it's gonna go off soon, I reckon. Yeah, it looks a bit bad, doesn't it?
What's the decision-making process there, mate? I reckon you've had a few different ones over the journey.
Yeah, I have. I just can't be bothered shaving it, to be honest. So, no, I reckon I'll shave it soon and go clean. Yeah.
Mate, you're back into it at training and whatnot. How was your off season? Did you get away and how you been back into training, into the full swing of it?
Yeah, I went away overseas for a bit, which was nice to reset a bit, and all the boys are looking real fit at the moment at Freo. So we've hit the ground running. It looks good.
Yeah, beautiful. We might just get Matt behind the desk at front row. We might get the Harley highlights. Harley Reid's obviously just gone pick one of the Eagles. You're obviously going to be trying to tap the other way as things go on. But I don't know if you've seen much of him, Luke. What you reckon about how he's gone this year? Caught much of his stuff on social.
Yeah, I've seen a few highlight videos of him around on social media. So, yeah, he looks like a pretty good player to me, and should have a good career coming up. So, yeah, good on him.
Fair few good stiff arms and stuff. He's good. He works well around around stoppages. Jeez, he's pretty much got everything, doesn't he?
He's got everything.
Yeah, this is not bad at all. What's that first week going to be like for him, mate? You've been a high draft pick going into a new club.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a nervous week, the first week at an AFL club. I remember I was pretty nervous, but once you start training, it's just footy at the end of the day. So no, I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it.
Which Melbourne player, mate, when you first got drafted, made you the most nervous? Was it Big Maxi or Petrarca? Who were you in awe of the most when you wander in on day one?
Yeah, probably say Maxi Gorn. Just standing next to him, he towers over me. And doing a few ruck drills with him. Yeah, it was pretty scary. So I'd probably say Big Maxi.
How did you go in your first month, mate, with the fitness, the gym work, the living away from home? How did you find that your aerobic capacity was? Was it a shock to the system, or you seemed to blend in pretty well?
Yeah, I think the hardest part about the first week is just backing up the trainings each day. I felt, I didn't feel the running was too bad. I just think it was backing it up. And, being young, your body takes longer to get used to it, I reckon. So probably say that aspect of
jump in here, boys, but it looks like Colby McKirch has just gone a pick 2 to North Melbourne. We might quickly jump in. Iggy, Nate, we got any questions from the crowd for Luke?
Yeah, absolutely. Jacko, we started with hoops, so we started baseline hoops. Have you been able to get any buckets over the off season?
Oh, nice, yeah. I have shot around a few times in the off season, so yeah, I haven't really lost my touch. I reckon still knocked down.
Yeah, could you make a late career transition to the NBL? Do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not NBL. Maybe SBL over here in WA.
Yeah, the Willow Tigers would be lovely hearing that.
Yeah, I'll go back to Willow. Bring a chip there.
Unreal.
All right, beautiful. And Jacko, no, go, boys.
You got it.
No, you got it.
Oh, I'm just saying. So they're looking at WA Footy Commission, AFL Talent Academy, looking for a few new big boys to come down and give footy a go. So it's December 13. How did you make that decision to come down?
Yeah, when I was younger, I was still doing junior footy at Willow and Bull Creek, and then was playing a lot more basketball back then as well. But yeah, just got called down to go train there. It seemed pretty good. To go join in state, I guess. So just gave it a crack, and it all worked out in the end. So yeah, for anyone looking to head down, I'd say 100% do it, because you would enjoy it, I reckon, for sure.
Yeah, beautiful. So that's people of a certain height. If you're one of the taller
the big fellas.
The big fellas.
Is it code for rating basketballs?
Maybe, just like very slightly. And so it's men's and women's, the WA Footy Commission Talent Day. So it's on the 13th of December. Go to wafootball.com.au/talent, and you can find the link then there to sign up and go down and test out your skills with the rest of the crop, and maybe one day sit in Jacko's. I'm assuming it's a very nice car, mate, you got there, and you can dial into the next baseline.
Right, it's just a Prado, so yeah, good.
Hey, can I just quickly grab one more question, mate? You're obviously a big fish in a small town in terms of the city. Harley Reid's going to sort of deal with what you've just gone through the last 12 months, being that big fish. What advice would you give Harley Reid now lobbing into Perth, where it's so footy centric, 2, they're passionate supporters, and he's going to be the big fish at West Coast? Have you got any advice, or what would you do?
Yeah, I'd probably say it is a bit of a fishbowl here, so I'd probably just say focus on your footy and just get around your family and mates as much as you can. That's what I do, so it takes my mind off footy a lot. So probably just say, enjoy your footy and have a good balance outside of it.
Good man,
just
mate.
One last question. Kai Baker, one of our followers, asked, how long do you think Freo will win their first flag?
Yeah. Nah, hopefully next few years, I reckon. We got a pretty young list, so 2024. That's the answer.
That's the answer. 10 months away. 10 months away.
Load up.
Yeah.
Thanks for dialing in, Jacko. Good on you, mate.
Appreciate you.
All good, fellas. Cheers.
Thanks, well up.
So we've had Colby McKercher go to North at pick 2. Pick 3, this has got to be Jed Walter, right?
Yeah, you did mention it though, and I do like the fact that the players that are being bidded on, just forget them. Like, there's something
Take
about
your
being
pick.
pick 2, and there's something about being pick 3 as opposed to being the second choice for these clubs. Essentially, I know it's not because they know it's going to be matched or whatever.
Oh, here he is. This is Colby McKercher out of Tassie. So let's see what Cal Toomey's got to say about Colby. Class. Promising prospect. Dominated the draft campaign. Joint winner of the Morris Medal in the Talent League. So you're basically your 250, 300 game. Oh, here we go. Bids in. Sorry. Jed Walter. Well, I think Gold Coast are going to match this, right? Okay, this is too confusing.
How we going, boys, with the post? Did you get out there nice and early? It's doing what it's needed to do.
Mate, we got McKercher out there about a minute early, and Harley was pretty certain, but McKercher wasn't. We put him up there.
That
We
was a
just
bold call.
threw it out. You know what? It hit. It's going all right. So
It's doing well.
Yeah, good.
No, I love it, mate. Just keep. Have you got a real curveball you might want to throw out there? Just like a real random one that's not going to happen. Like, I don't know. Nate Caddy, pick 4, done.
Look, I would have, but it does take me a little bit to do these jersey swaps. I know you're not like all up with the tech and stuff, but it takes me a little bit to kind of get prepared. So I've only got the first 5.
Right.
Mate, these academy boys are a saviour for you, right? They've already worn the jersey in the tackler
it's so
in all the
easy.
leagues.
It's so easy. I don't do anything.
Yeah, his kid's unreal, Jed Walter. I love him. I love the fact that he takes grabs and kicks goals. He chases like a madman, right?
yeah, we've watched a few games of him down here in Melbourne, and I swear to you, I've never seen a more dominant player, especially a guy like his size. Especially a guy his size, like he'll be on the mark and just staring the guy down. And I've seen him give away a few free kicks he probably didn't need to, but I wouldn't want that guy chasing me. Mate, I wouldn't want that guy chasing me. So
Yeah, he's a big unit.
Yeah, just looking, guys. It's he's 194 centimetres, and the current crop of centre half forwards, full forwards, are stretching towards that 200 centimetre mark. Do you reckon that if there's ever any concern, I mean, he looks like a home run, but could there be a height issue where if he does get a Sam Taylor or someone like that manning him?
I don't think so. I think he's going to hold his own. Just looking at his build as an 18-year-old. Like,
Right.
he's looking like Charlie Kerno out of the talent
Already.
league. And he's got a pretty decent vertical leap on him too. So I think he's got all the tools to be able to hold his own. I guess we'll just see how he translates.
That's it.
Yeah, there's just looking at some vision. Gee, he chases hard.
Yeah, that's what we're saying, mate. He loves it.
What's he doing? Hey, he should be running harder back to goals. All right. I mean, I'm filling in my sheet, actually. I'm filling it in.
Are you? Well, you're on your sheet.
Just
What's your comparisons? Have we got comparisons?
Yeah, he reminds me of Brody Mycheck, that bloke.
What's it do? Like, this is one of the things that gets me.
And by the way, Brody Mycheck, very good footballer.
If you could end up with Brody Mycheck's career, you'd be pretty
Very
happy,
good
right?
footballer. Yeah.
But they throw out some wild comparisons along the way.
Oh, mate, I remember, and that's my gripe a little bit with some of these players is, what's wrong with comparing them to, like, from my era, Grant Birchall, or, 300 games nearly, all Australians, premierships, but instead everyone has to be Corey Enright.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you can have no one has to be a 10-time All-Australian to be compared to him. Oh, I think that's a bit of Chris Judd about this guy.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Chris Judd mixed with Cyril.
Yeah.
Mixed with Brian Lake.
Yeah, he's everything.
Yeah.
He's a complete
Full
player.
package.
Picks four coming now. I reckon probably Dersma.
Yeah, I'm writing Dersma down, mate, so it's on you, all right?
Post it.
Post it.
Posted already.
Hey boys, what are your thoughts on the pick 3 compensation that North got? Obviously, this McKercher and Dersma, a bit of a handout there. What do you reckon?
I think the free agency stuff, if you do get compensation, it, at a minimum needs to be the back end of each round to start with, not behind your first pick. I was at Hawthorn when Franklin packed up, and pick 19 for Lance Franklin, the most dominant player. And then I think Melbourne got pick 3 for Chip Frawley's trade over or whatever it was. So, the free agency compensation, they can get in the bin to start with. But there's no way in the world that North Melbourne are going to match any of those deals with. And you touch wood that doesn't happen. But there's every chance that Ben Mackay's injured this year. He's played 70 games in 8 years.
But he's not. He's not. I'm going to say not great. He's a good player. He's not a pick 3.
No. But I've got a bit of a soft spot for North Melbourne. I like what they're doing. So I'm more than happy for them to get the compensation picks and the first rounders and all that sort of stuff. So, it's interesting. I don't know why why would they be taking so long here? This is the bit I don't get.
Yeah. Benny Dix is getting very close to Jed Walder's grandma.
She can't hear. That's why.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the reason. Oh, it's an exciting night for these kids. Good on them.
Just going to shout out Alex at the computer over there, mate. You've dropped your files in front of us.
Here we go.
Pick us in, boys. Kados stream.
What's that hub thing?
Yeah.
We're going to go early, boys. We're going to go early. If it's Dan Curtin, we're done for the night.
No, it's not Dan Curtin. Go. Back yourself, boys.
Come on. It's got to be Dersma. It's got to be my guy.
Has to be Dersma. Has to be.
There we go. Mate, 4 for 4 tonight. We're doing all right.
Well done, boys. Well done.
4 for 4. Watch this. Nick Watson, pick 5. We're going to call it right now.
That's huge.
Well, just post it.
So what's the little small fella, of course, 170 centimetres.
Is Frost still there? Is he delisted? Do you get to pick who wears number 8?
No, Frosty's still there.
Is he still there? I'm not sure, mate. He's in that.
He's imperative to Hawthorn, mate.
Dersma, boys, tell us what are your thoughts on him? How does he fit? How often does he play? How soon does he play? Sorry.
Dersma, I think he plays pretty soon. He's a pretty athletic, pretty exciting. Probably half forward midfield hybrid, I'd say. That's probably where they play him. Yeah. I think he'll contribute real nicely with the boys they picked last year. Obviously, Wardlaw and Sheasel. Even last year, they've got, I think, one or two more boys that are still yet to play. There's a Murray boy that is pretty good. They got first round. But him and McKirch over at North, I think they might be building a little dynasty if those two boys turn out just like last year's ones did.
Yeah, they've got an elite young squad. Country boy. They call him Big Game Zane, unofficially.
Unofficially. He's been DMing you that, hasn't he? Can you just mention this as my nickname, please?
It's a bloody tough spot to play, the high half forward role. Yeah. But what we did with Mark the Craft, for example, he played a half forward role. Yeah. Just go in the midfield for 5 minutes and make it up. And his nickname was Spark. Just give us a spark. Like it's an exciting role, the half forward, where you can just throw caution to the wind and away you go.
Oh, right. I think let's pull him in. I think we've got Luke Morabito on the line from TLA, manages a lot of the WA boys.
G'day guys, how you going?
G'day Morrow, how are you mate? Good to have you on.
Going well. Thanks for having me boys. How are you guys?
We're going good. Oh, here he is. Look at him. Good looking rooster too, Morrow.
Yeah, good looking rooster.
Look at him go.
Good looking rooster. Mate, no curveballs just
Thanks,
yet.
Boys. Thanks.
Yeah, no curveballs just yet, mate. If you'd have a couple of nervous 18-year-olds sitting at home hoping their names get called out pretty soon.
Yeah. I'm just over at the Collards, Lance Collard and his family here. So we'll see what eventuates for him tonight. Then obviously we've got Jace over there, the live coverage with Dan Curtin. So once again through that North Melbourne pick, there's a bit of chat about that. But we'll see where Dan lands. And then we've got Riley Hardiman as well, who's at home up the road here. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah, Morrow, you got any more idea of where Dan Curtin goes? It seems like there's 14 different options, right?
I reckon your guess is as good as mine, mate. I think it's the most hyped up pick. And I think everyone's kind of speculating West Coast coming in, and he could have gone to North with that third pick, and Hawthorn's around the mark. But we can have all the conversations, but you guys, we just don't have any clarity there. So
Yeah. This is a strange one.
Is there a club, if you had to pick one, you feel he would best suit? Like best suit in terms of demographic, position. Is there a club that, and it doesn't mean he's going to go there, obviously. But
which ones don't you like? Where don't you want him to go?
no, like obviously West Coast would suit well, but it's tough to get there now. The Giants have Sam Taylor and Buckley, so that's probably unlikely.
The good thing about Dan is obviously his versatility. So he's been able to play and perform well as a key defender. He's been able to go through the midfield and had a bit of success as a key forward as a junior. So I wouldn't sit here and say there's one specific club because, once again, the benefit of Dan is he can slot into any role that he needs to play at AFL level.
Iggy, Nate, you got a few to fire at Luke Morabito?
I think my question was going to be around the best place for him to sit. But what do you reckon about his year this year? Obviously, we saw him at the national championships have a pretty big one. What do you reckon? How would you rate it?
Yeah, I think. Look, we went into the year with a bit of a plan around him playing as a key forward, but it was pretty quick to note that he performed as a key defender late last year. Obviously, winning the medal in the curtain raiser prior to the grand final. So being able to get thrown into defence and then have a bit of midfield time throughout the year at Waffle Colts and then throughout the championships. Once again, that versatility piece, it's the key word when it comes to Dan. So it was an exceptional year for him, and obviously to then win the medal at the under-18s champs for WA and come back and play some senior footy with Claremont, who then went on to play finals. It was, you couldn't have really faulted his year, especially after he missed so much of last year with the finger injury.
But in here, we've had Nick Watson picked up by Hawthorn at 5.
Sorry.
I think that was expected, right? How far ahead did you get of that one, boys?
Mate, we left it a bit late. We left it about a minute before, so we got it out. But good to see Watto and Ginnivan together. Yeah. Got one more for you, Luke. Let's talk Lance Collard.
Yep.
We actually went out to the Waffle Super Round earlier this year. I was at one of the games and saw him kick that bag of 6. I can't remember who it was against. But what do you reckon his ceiling is, and where do you reckon he plays on an AFL list?
On talent-wise, Lance has all the qualities that you want. Obviously, the comparison to Bolton and Cozzy Pickett and seeing what those guys are doing, definitely on talent base, he's there. If you look at what they've been doing in the system with the right resource around him, I have no doubt that he's one that can definitely get to the same heights.
And you thinking he goes tonight? Well, that's obviously the hope. The family sort of gathered.
Yeah, look, there's with so much to work through over the next few picks, and it will be. He's definitely got a chance to go tonight. But also, at the end of the day, if he falls through and goes tomorrow night, it's not the end of the world. So we're prepared for anything as you need to be in these kind of scenarios.
I was drafted alongside a Clayton Collard. Is there a connection there by any chance?
Distant cousins.
Distant cousins.
Bloody skillful.
He's Clayton Collard.
Oh, yeah, I remember him and Leroy Jetta. Oh, they were skillful for WA.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they were bloody brilliant. Yeah. How important is it, mate, to manage the expectations of the kids you're sort of helping out? You know, tonight might be the night where you pop up and you're taking higher than expected, and it also might be conversely the other way around that you might fall a couple of picks. How important is it for you to be the reinsuring person, and this is what happens on draft night, and buckle in and we'll see where it all plays out?
Yeah, obviously it's such a nerve-wracking time, not just for them, but also their family. It's one of those ones where even for us, it's not like we sit here and we know exactly where they're going to go, but just being able to try and manage emotions and ensure that everyone's stable and understands the process around they do get picked, what then eventuates. So we're a cool, calm house here at the moment, which is nice. But I'm sure as we advance over the next little bit, there will be there's definitely going to be some nerves.
Well, we'll let you go, Morrow, because we're slowly advancing into Dan Curtin territory. Also, shout out Steak Hill Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Save's got the hat. I met Dan Curtin's mum at the Steak Hill Tomatoes stall.
Is that right?
So she's a very nice lady. Yeah, great tasting tomatoes.
Now, Claremont.
Yeah, shout out Steak Hill. Give us a few more tomatoes, boys, next time.
Nah.
Hey,
Hey, Luke,
Excellent,
mate,
boys. Thanks a lot for having
the
me.
rest of the night.
Luke, mate, just one more question.
So much.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Oh, he's gone.
Lost him.
I lost him.
Oh, no.
No, still we
Good
are.
delay.
What?
Right.
Right.
Oh, he's still
no,
here.
he's still here.
Sorry, just about the U17. We filmed Dan Curtin at the Curtain Raiser last year. What kind of what impact did that have on his recruitment and how well he played in that game leading into his final year pre-draft?
Yeah, look, obviously Dan came on the scene. He played as an underager, as a key defender back when it was an under-17s coming out of COVID. He went over at SA and played in that game and was arguably WA's best performer. So to then miss the majority of the year but then come out in that game, it definitely pushed his name a lot higher. And it just shows the benefit of that Curtin Raiser game to put the nation's best 17-year-olds on the one field, and to perform well. It does make a nice little segue going into your draft year.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, mate.
Like, last one. I got another one. This will be the very last one. This will be the very last one. Have you got any boys looking at next year's draft that we should keep an eye on?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, we've got to look. It's over here in WA. It's a bit slower in terms of boys making decisions. We're lucky enough to bring on Luke Urquhart from East Fremantle, who's missed majority of the year this year due to hip surgery, but he came out the back and he's got some excellent AFL traits. And then we've just had young Will Hayes come on board from the Claremont Footy Club, who you would have seen in the Waffle Grand Final, who's a really exciting prospect. So for the time being, that's our two, and we're waiting on a few others. So hopefully once we get through the draft, we'll hopefully get them on board too.
Love it. All right, that's it from us. Thanks.
We'll let you go for real.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, mate.
Appreciate it.
Good luck,
Thanks,
mate.
guys.
Riley Sanders just gone pick 6. Big dogs.
Yeah, lads, he sounds like, just having a look at his bio, a type of football that you just love. You're just a bloody good footballer.
You'd be happy to hear this. He's a Melbourne grammar boy as well.
Tuesday breed him big and strong at grammar. But he just looks like a footballer that does everything pretty well. He's gone to the Bulldogs, and to choose a player from the Bulldogs, like McRae's just your midfielder that typically does stuff pretty well.
Another mid at Western Bulldogs, eh?
Yeah.
They can't really fit them all in, eh?
Yeah, well, I think, for example, McRae's coming out the other side of it though. Like, they need some youth in there.
True.
How have you found young Sanders this season, boys?
Yeah, he's been ridiculous. He had some insane stats towards the end of the season. I'm not sure. I couldn't exactly quote him, but towards the end of the season, through the championships with the Allies, because he's originally from Tassie, and then he moved down to Sanity for the last couple of years of his senior football, and he was just elite through the championships and through Coates Talent League.
Not to mention your APS boys. I reckon get him on a Melbourne grammar board at some point. I think he was averaging something like 41 touches a game over there. I think he had like a 42-touch, 6-goal game or something like that. I could be gassing him up. So, Riley.
No, that's all right. Gas him right up. I love it.
But yeah, I think he had like a 42-touch, 6-goal game for Melbourne Grammar. So he's had himself quite a year.
Gee whiz.
Bevo looks happy about this in the background there.
The old grandpa's had the time of his life. The Melbourne pick here coming up. Can you imagine if they traded Clayton Oliver during that chit-chat?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the picks that they would have had, it would have just opened this first round up with packages and all sorts. Of course, this is the Luke Jackson pick.
Oh, this is Frio's pick that went to them for Luke Jackson, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've got on the line. Hang on,
Watto's post is outperforming. We've just posted Watto and it's outperforming the Harley Reid one. So that's something.
Really?
He's got some fans. Yeah.
He's a bit of a character, isn't he?
Yeah,
he is.
What about a Watto Ginnivan forward line?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
He's not getting Zave started on the Hawks. Who we got here?
Gee, they've gone crazy at the local pub. Good on them.
So who's this? This is pick 7.
Caleb Windsor.
Caleb Windsor. Well, while we wait for Caleb to go up and roll some highlights, then we got Will Ashcroft on the line. Boys, bringing your man in.
Mate. Will, what's going on, man?
Yeah,
How are you?
Not much. How you guys going?
Yeah, going all right, mate. Where are you right now? You just hanging out, watching the draft?
Yeah, I'm back in Queensland. I was in Melbourne for a bit, but I'm back here now, getting ready for pre-season next week.
Yep, love it. How's the knee going, mate? How you pulling up?
Yeah, good. Yeah, flying at the moment. So yeah, running and kicking and feeling a bit normal again, which is nice. So yeah, I'll be doing a fair bit by the new year. Training with the boys by then. So yeah, feeling good.
No, I love it.
Nice.
You Brisbane boys, have you guys what's your draft looking like tonight? Have you got a first rounder or are you guys kind of backed up a little?
No, we're backed up. I think I'm not sure. I think our first pick's in the 30s or something this year. So yeah, I think we've got a few late ones, but yeah, we'll see how we go.
Yep.
Have you kept an eye on?
Are loading up on picks for another Ashcroft next year, right, Will?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, potentially. It was. He's at the draft tonight, probably enjoying himself. So, yeah, I'm not sure what he wants to do. He's still a long way out. He's probably 6 months out from actually making a decision, or probably longer than that, from making a proper decision. So, just looking forward to seeing him play some good footy to start the year and see if he wants to come play up here.
Have you been keeping an eye on this
memories,
year's stuff, Ashy? This year's
sorry?
crop. Have you kept an eye on this year's crop? And is there anyone that you're liking from this year, even in the top 10? If you boys don't get them?
Yeah, I played with and against a lot of them, so I know them pretty well. I probably didn't follow as much this year, but know them from seeing different stuff and watching Levi play against a lot of them as well. So, I think did Riley just get picked up then? I just saw a couple of his highlights flash up.
Yeah, he got picked at 6 to the Dogs.
Yeah, okay, yes. Yeah, he's one that played with, and I think he'll have a great career. And yeah, good to see him go to the Dogs. He'll really enjoy that, and looking forward to seeing how he goes.
Yeah. Noah Campstra reckons you were robbed for goal of the year. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Who was robbed?
He won it.
Oh, he won it. Oh. Disregard that. Noah Campstra.
Noah Campstra's doing you dirty on that.
He's done me dirty.
What's he talking about?
Yeah, I know.
What did you end up getting for goal of the year? I remember Nick Nat won Mark of the Year back in the day, and he was expecting a Land Cruiser or something to land in his driveway, and it was a year's supply of Weet-Bix, which I think he left at the actual shop. What was the package for goal of the year?
I think they changed it around most years. It wasn't a car or something for a little bit. They don't do that anymore. So I think it's just a little bit of cash and got the medal on the night, and then that's about it, to be honest.
Hey, I think Adelaide had just traded GWS for their pick. What's this trade look like? So Adelaide have come up with draft, maybe for Dan Curtin here?
Yeah, they could do with key backs. Absolutely. Hey, Ashy, the grand final loss, obviously a shame. Someone wins one, someone loses one. I was unfortunately played in 2012, lost, then Hawthorn went and won 3 in a row. It can really build a bond amongst the group and galvanise a team to go on to bigger and better things. You've had a bit of downtime and now the group is starting to form again. Do you feel there's a bit of a galvanisation of the group, and that last year, fantastic to make the grand final, but there's certainly another level to go to?
Yeah, absolutely. I think from a team perspective, that was a tough period for me, but watching on, but just before I got injured, we were starting to build a really good brand of footy that we wanted to play, and that obviously carried over. And yeah, we're only a kick out of it in the end. So I think, we've come pretty close. I was only a part of the group this year, obviously, but from the years leading up, pretty close. Close again this year. So I think that only builds, as you were talking about, the belief. And I think the group knows now that, you know, we're more than capable and have the people at the club, not just the players, but the staff and everyone that's a part of it, to drive us forward. And I think, yeah, it's important, though, to just, you know, focus now on what's right in front of us with the pre-season coming up and how we can improve on the last pre-season, and then leading into the early rounds and just build brick by brick. So that's the plan. And, yeah, personally looking forward to doing that and getting back as early as I can.
So Dan Curtin's just been picked by Adelaide.
Adelaide, Dan Curtin, absolutely. You say you're brick by brick, mate. When can we see, you know, ACLs and stuff are a tricky time, but you sort of get a fairly long run up at it. What's your timeline looking like? When will we see you likely to be able to play some sort of footy?
Yeah, I think they don't want to put too many dates on it early on, but I think it's reasonable to think around probably 7 to 10 in that range, round 7 to 10 is sort of the goal, I guess, if you're putting in month by month. So, yeah, I'm just trying to build to then, and yeah, I'll build up obviously and try to get back to my best and build from there.
Can I rewind 12 months ago? You've been around footy obviously all your life, but you turn up to Brizzy and you've got, you know, a midfield of a dual Brownlow medalist now, Dunkley, McCluggage. The experience of that first week, how did you settle in? The nerves, the excitement, how was it for you?
Yeah, I was in a pretty lucky position because I did the full pre-season the year before that. Dunks wasn't there, but all those other guys were that you touched on. So it was good that I got a little bit of a taste in my 17th year. And then it was more of the excitement. Like I signed a little bit out, so I knew where I was going and just couldn't wait to get there and kick it off. So, but yeah, you know, you can prepare for it how I did, but you still get there and you're still pretty over the moon and pretty stunned that, you know, you're training alongside and doing hands and stuff like with Lockie and guys like that. So it's still, you know, a pretty surreal feeling. So yeah, really enjoyed that first. A bit of a blur. I can't remember too much of it. And it seems like only yesterday that I was actually in the room getting picked. So yeah, it's crazy how quickly it goes. And yeah, a lot of these boys will experience sort of the same thing.
Boys, you got any last ones for Ashy? We've lost your audio, I reckon.
Yeah, sorry, boys.
Yeah. While we get that sorted, Ashy, I've just got to ask you, mate, did a bit of growing up in Queensland. You're back there now. Have you been down to see the bright lights of Bow Desert yet, mate?
Nah, not recently. No, I've probably been there a few times, but I don't stop in there too often. But I might have to now.
Missing out. It's the entrance to the
city. There we go,
mate. You're missing.
There we go. I think I got our audio back.
Yeah,
you're back, mate. You're back.
Here we go. Hey, Ashley, last question. Obviously, you played Sandy last year. Are there any boys that you played with you think are a good shot of going first round or second round in the draft? Obviously, today, tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously, Riley just went. I think Harvey Johnson's in the mix. I probably didn't play. Well, actually, I played a fair few games with him last year, and he came on really strong. In the Vic Metro Champs, watching him there, and then in the finals as well. So I think, yeah, he's well and truly in the mix, and hope the best for him. Will Brown, sort of similar, he played the final series last year and really developed and kicked on in the second half of this year. So I think, they're the two that come to mind, and yeah, hope the best for them.
Perfect. Hey, as we let you go, man, we know you've got your wash camps coming up in Melbourne. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about that? And just plug yourself a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I'm doing a bit of a side hustle, I guess. I've got my own business where I'm running a few events. Got my app as a sort of staple piece for it, but I'm running some event, a bit of a footy camp in a couple of weeks in Melbourne, 11 to 16, sort of the age bracket. So you can sort of jump on Wash Performance and Wellbeing website or my Instagram and wash_PW Instagram and sign up and have a look there if you're interested. So yeah, excited to see a few down there.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Good on you,
Just
mate.
one last
Well,
one.
one
sorry.
more, mate.
Actually, last one.
Yeah, no
you need to
worries.
go to
Yeah, all good.
Fags. You need to go to Fags and tell him you need a new runner. I can't see Birchall's big ass running out there anymore. He's got to go, Birchall.
Yeah, he costs a fair bit of stick from the boys for being the runner. So, you're not the only one. You're not the only one.
Good on you, mate. Good luck with your recovery.
Perfect.
Very good. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Enjoy.
Appreciate you, Will, my guy.
Oh, here we go. So Geelong have now come in and bid on Ethan Reid, their son's ruckman.
Yeah, it looks like.
So just jumping back to recap.
So Dan Curtin off to Adelaide. That was a big move. Fraser McGuinness, former Eagle, does recruitment work for the Crows, so he would have spent a long time watching Curtin over here, of course.
So is he just reading out the fact that the Gold Coast have matched? Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So Adelaide, let's just jump back a second. So Adelaide gave up picks 11, 15 and a future second to get the Giants picked 8 and 17. Don't mind it.
Yeah. Oh, who was that? I think it was pick 6 Adelaide a few years ago, the centre half back. Mick.
Oh, it just didn't go on?
It just hasn't happened for him. So I think that's...
Fisher McCasey?
Yes. I reckon they've just gone, we're checking out of that, and which I think they have. And this is obviously the replacement. They've got injuries through that key back line as well. Who knows if Dan Curtin can make an impact in his first year, but the trajectory of the Crows would be that, wouldn't you think, next year? So they
Dan
certainly
Curtin's coming in and playing.
They
He's
certainly need someone down there.
Oh, Ethan Reid, boys, what's your take on him?
We didn't get to see a lot of him play this year. Gold Coast Academy only played a couple games in the NAB League, so we kind of missed him in the first half of the year. But playing for the Allies, I think they all talk about his versatility.
Yeah.
So I guess that's really all we can touch on. Obviously, super agile ruckman, can kind of move forward, kick a bag. To be honest, seems like a good player for Geelong, someone that they can work on.
Yeah, won a championship with the Allies. Just a solid player, strong kick.
He's a ruckman too. He gets 5 years as a ruckman before they're expected to even do their shoelaces up. Ruckman.
Yeah. Do you reckon he'll put on some weight when he gets to the big leagues?
He's going to have to.
Well, the best thing he's got Jared Witts to take the grunt, and Witts has probably got a couple of years left in him, you'd think. So timing might be exceptional in terms of a fair bit of development sort of football, and then when the big Whittler wraps it up, he might be ready-made. So looks like a pretty wise selection and a lucky one. 202 centimetres, good height, and finished third in the 2K time trial at the Combine, so he flies. That's a good stat by me.
I do like it. Where'd you pull that one? Well, it just popped up on screen.
Yeah, he was kind of sitting in the top 10 for as long as, for the second half of the year. He was sitting at number 9 for the whole second half of the year. So it was pretty didn't drop or rush up in any point. I think everyone was selecting him around that point, anyways.
Ruckman with running ability, it's bloody important. That's what they, Max Gawn and those guys, they can separate themselves from the big not so agile players. So he's going to be interesting. Matt Rosa, I wonder, Essendon got the next pick. Matt Rosa, of course, former West Coast Peel Thunder under Fremantle's lead, now running the Essendon.
Oh, hang on, because Geelong have traded. So Essendon traded up a pick, so they obviously someone that they want.
Yeah, so Essendon have
given them 31 and 11.
So they threw 31 in there. So they threw a second rounder in there to get up one pick.
Is it too early to call flag ons for 2024?
Yes.
Yes.
Go with it.
Wait, no, you're a big Essendon, right?
I'm not going to lie, I went 5 for 5 on my post today. I'm calling the Bombers for the premiership in 2024.
That's bold.
I'm calling it. Harry Mackay, Australian defender.
I'll eat my hat if they win the flag next year.
Ben Mackay.
I used to be a mad Essendon supporter growing up, but gee whiz, I was lucky to have some success back then. 93, 2000. I even cried after 99, the prelim that they lost. I cried my eyes out.
Here we are. Oh, Prime's a Bombers fan too. Get him in here. Let's have a chat.
All right, let's pull him on if he's a Bombers fan. We got Prime Train joining us on the phone.
Nate Caddy.
Hey, Prime.
Dons.
G'day, legends. How we doing?
Good, mate. Your mate, Nate Caddy, who you've been working out with a bit.
He's gone. Has he gone 10 to the Dons?
He just got picked to your squad. How do you feel?
Bro, my guy. I love that man. He's an absolute beast. He's kind of like that mid-sized forward. Like, he's 193 centimetres, so he's not like an absolute, out-and-out tall forward, but he's like that third tall. He's going to fit in perfectly, I reckon, at the Dons. Like, we've got a couple of kind of good talls. It'd be good to see him with Peter Wright down there. I think it's going to be very exciting. He's a good footballer.
Yeah, 100%. Did you end up playing any footy with him, or you were just kind of working out because you've got a training kind of business? Were you just working out with him in the gym, or you end up getting a few kicks with him?
Yeah, so we did probably a 5 to 6 week like little pre-season just to get him kind of ready for the draft. Kind of more mindset sort of stuff as well, like really pushing him to his limits, doing a lot of like hill runs and that sort of stuff as well. So hopefully he's ready to go when he does get to the Bombers. But they've only got a couple of weeks left before they get their Chrissy break, and then then they'll be back. So I'm very excited to see what he does at the Dons. It's nothing better than when you see one of your clients go top 10. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
Hey, Prime, you came in after I just made a pretty wild take. I think we're both Bombers supporters, and I was saying I've gone 5 for 5 on getting posts out before the picks today. So I was saying Flag Dons 2024 might be a shout. What's your thoughts on that after our strong trade period?
I don't know about Flag Dons 2024. I think we're probably 2 years away from being in that flag tilt. So maybe 25, 26 is when we're really starting to look at it. I think we've got one more year of kind of consolidating where we're at. Hopefully we can get a finals win in there. That'll be lovely. So all my friends stop giving me so much stick about it. And we can get a finals win, and then then maybe we can start pushing for finals, top 4 and that sort of stuff after that.
Did the girls win their final? The Bombers
What's
girls?
that?
Or did they get done as well? Did the Bombers girls
they
win
got
their
done
final,
by
or did they get done as well?
Yeah. Yeah, no, we can't. Honestly, I watched that game as well. We can't take a trick at the moment. It's not good at all.
That's it. Prime, so I've got a question in for you from Jasper Harris. He wondered if you ever wanted to make the AFL or be a draft night prospect.
I get this question a lot. I think everybody grows up playing footy and wants to play AFL. Like you'd be silly if that wasn't your goal growing up. But no, I was never at that level. I was never really that good. I stick to what I know, which is training. So I'll stick to that and and keep doing that. And lucky enough to help a few of these boys. It worked a little bit with Nick Watson as well over the pre-season, and with you guys as well. You guys were there for some of those sessions. So it's pretty exciting to see them kind of on draft night now on Fox Footy, just absolutely dominating. That makes me so happy. It makes me feel so fulfilled. So that's the best feeling of it all.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on? Give us a little bit on Nick Watson. You just mentioned it. You worked out with him a bit over the off season. Just been taken by the Hawks at pick 5, teaming up with Ginnivan and a bunch of those younger boys. What are your thoughts on Watto?
I think it was an interesting pick because I thought that they might go with Curtin at 5, but focusing on Watto, like he's a super hard worker, isn't he? Like he was pretty much working out 7 days a week, which was incredible, and almost doing 2 sessions a day. So he's a dog, and it's good to see these young kids just have so much motivation to work so hard at the start. And I hope that they just continue having that motivation and they don't get too distracted, by other things as they get into the spotlight and into the industry. So I hope Nick, stays steadfast and keeps his motivation up and keeps grinding.
We got pick 11 in now from Geelong, and it is
Connor O'Sullivan.
It is.
Connor O'Sullivan.
There it
Connor
is.
O'Sullivan. They're going crazy as well.
They are. That's good. Hey, Prime, I see a lot of your content, obviously, on socials. Who are some of the players that you have trained that have gone on to play AFL? I know there's a couple that you've just mentioned there that are going to be playing in the next sort of 12 months, but who are some of the players that you rub shoulder and really impressed? I've seen some stuff with Ashcroft on there. Who's really impressed you?
Mate, the most impressive bloke that's going to go, I think he's going to go in the top 20 tonight, is Darcy Wilson. He is a genuine, has the craziest mindset you'll ever come across. He'll work out 3 times a day. He's crazy. And he's just no one that I've ever met at that age, at 17, has such an incredible work ethic. They have, their diet and nutrition. They've got all this knowledge. He's starting to create an app as well. He's already thinking about how he can help other people with their mindset and their training. So he's probably one of the craziest. And then one that I worked with a couple of years ago with Jasper Fletcher, and he moved, just the way that he moved. This was when he was 15, 16. I was like, this bloke's going to be a superstar. He just moves so incredibly well. His lateral movement was incredible. So he was one that early on I was like, he's going to be a really good player. So he's turned out to be a gun, and I'm really, really excited to see what Darcy Wilson does. He's just going to be amazing. I can't wait.
Are you going to be training any boys coming
Sullivan
up this season in this next year's draft prime? Do you have anyone kind of teed up, or sticking with your own kind of squad?
Yeah, absolutely. We had Jagger Smith. We were going to do a workout with. I think he's probably touted as a top 3. Would you say?
Yeah, 100%. Top 5, top 3.
Yeah,
sure.
he's a superstar. So we were going to get some work in with him before Christmas, which is going to be super exciting. He's just this real kind of lanky type operator, and he doesn't need to go to the gym and get big. He just needs to keep working on his lateral movement, keep working on being the athlete that he is. When athletes come to me, I don't try to make them big. I try to continue on what their strength is, and really focus in on that and hone on that, and make them even better at that. So that's a really exciting thing for the next draft crop. But it's exciting to see all the boys go tonight. It's just it's so awesome.
It's pretty wild, hey. It's going to be, because we've obviously filmed some of these guys for years, and it's just going to be pretty crazy seeing them play in the AFL next year. I can't wait to see Watto for the Hawks.
I know Watto's going to be crazy. Do you reckon he'll fit into that forward line with Ginnivan, Bruce? Do you reckon he'll play at the start of the year? What do you guys reckon?
I'm not sure, because he also was playing as a midfielder throughout, towards the end of the season as well, in the middle of the last season as well. So he's kind of he is a small forward, but he's a versatile player. So it just depends on how he kind of fits into that system. I'm not sure who they have in their midfield, the Hawks, but he's pretty solid.
We're full in the midfield, mate.
You're full.
I was going to say they're pretty full, aren't they?
Mate, we've got kids everywhere. It's brilliant. Hey, Prime, your own footy, were you Wang this year?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I was playing out at Wangaratta this year in the Ovens and Murray competition.
And how'd you go? You got hurt at some stage, I saw, but I do run into the socials a lot. How'd you find the Ovens and Murray League's a good league of football?
Great league of footy, mate. It was it was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. The travel was a lot, I think, for me, including, I play up in NT during the off-season or during the summer as well. So it's pretty much year-round playing footy in the NT, and then driving 4 hours from Melbourne to Wangaratta. I think that the travel started to take a little bit of a toll on me, and unfortunately got injured, so I missed a little bit of the year. But it was really good. I got a little bit of a break and then came back refreshed after about 6 to 8 weeks off. So that was great, and finished the year pretty strong. And footy's footy at the end of the day. You make the best mates that you ever can. So I'm so grateful for the year that we had. Pick 12, here we go.
Pick 12 in now from GWS.
Phoenix Gothard. That's crazy. I think they had him around pick.
That's early.
I think they had him around pick.
That's real early. Look at the boys, they're going crazy.
Oh, look at them go, mate. Reptiles, I love it.
That's nuts. You love to
Mate,
see
the
that.
boys are going stick.
Mate, that's unreal.
He's there,
Oh,
though.
this is the first one that's like... There was the trade, the Adelaide trade was the first, like, that's interesting, but this one's, like, genuinely out of the blue, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Boy, pretty light for 178 centimeters, 72 kilos. Forward. Yeah, he was totally a
Dude,
shot.
they'll tip him to go like
I wasn't
40.
expecting him to go 13.
Jeez, they've ripped his shirt. Those boys must be full of piss. This is outstanding. So what
Mate,
can you
they've
tell
gone
us about-
crazy on him.
That's pretty wild.
He's actually at the...
He's had to tuck it back in.
Good, poor bugger. He's got a blood nose. That's what
He's an
mates are
Albury
for.
boy.
He's the highlight package.
These guys are right. Sort of mid... So small forward mainly, right? Yeah,
Gem-
Albury boy,
Yeah,
Murray League
small forward.
Bushrangers.
He's come out of nowhere.
Yeah, totally.
I think
Jeez, I
looking
must
at
love
those
him.
looking at those Cal Toomey rankings that AFL puts out, I don't think he was even top 30 until this month. See him go number 12.
Yeah,
It's
right.
crazy.
That is crazy. That is crazy. I mean, as a general forward, going to the Giants, I mean, learning off Toby Green. Look at the little reptiles. They are absolutely big over the big night. Good on them.
Oh, that's hilarious.
What's planned the next little while for you, Prime? You're obviously working hard, playing footy for up north.
Yeah, I'm playing for the Darwin Buffaloes up north. Myself,
Oh, the Buffaloes.
Reece Matheson, Mitch
Yeah.
Robertson. It's a pretty good crew up there at the moment. Pretty dangerous.
Barometer.
That's for sure. Rob Vlogs. Yeah, Rob Vlogs and Beast Mode. So pretty full on up there, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm chilling out this week. I'm in Hamilton Island this week for my birthday. So just relaxing, getting some work done from the laptop, and be up to Darwin and back, and then just training as many people as I possibly can as well over the summer. We've got some really cool things lined up, and some really good content lined up as well. So that's a big focus for me. Just focusing on doing as much one-on-one stuff as possible, and getting as much out of that as I possibly can, and trying to educate and teach as many people as much as I possibly can as well.
Yeah, beautiful.
Oh, but
Thanks,
do you know
mate. I
what-
appreciate
Here we
you
go. Picked up.
jumping in. Well, Colton Tholstrup's been picked up by Melbourne.
Yeah. WA boy.
Esperance boy.
Tell us a bit about Colton. I know that iconic photo of him with the glasses in the AFL Academy. Is he a bit of a character?
Mate, yeah, I think so, but I also reckon it doesn't take much for you to be labelled a bit of a character in footy circles. Just wear some funky glasses and they're like, whoa, crazy.
This bloke's wild.
Yeah, reel him in. Good player. Subiaco, not a bad football club overall, and they gave him real early looks at the league side, and I don't think he ever went back. Playing sort of mid forward, had one really good final. Do you remember?
Yeah.
You been calling waffle this year?
No, I haven't. But no, if you're breaking into the Subiaco senior side, I know they're not what they once were, but I mean they're a tough senior football club, Subiaco. If you're drafting a kid out of that side, I think you're probably rest assured it's going to be a reasonable talent.
Yeah, he's going to know how to get a spray along the way as well.
No, love it.
He should be playing pretty. Well, he'll be pushing for seniors at Melbourne pretty quickly too. Like he's not a kid who has a lot of meat to put on his bones. He's pretty close.
Yeah, Melbourne are pretty good.
Yeah, but they need something. Obviously, they didn't win a final.
Yeah, they need to win a final. I get that, but they also just need a clean run.
Yeah, well, this is also true. Well, thanks for jumping in, Prime, mate. We'll let you go and enjoy the
Birthday
Hamilton
trip.
Nightlife. Birthday trip. Hello.
Thank you
Just
very
by
much,
yourself,
gentlemen.
mate, or,
I appreciate it very much.
Prime, appreciate you, man.
Have a
Thanks,
fantastic night. No worries,
Thanks,
boys.
mate.
Be good.
Thanks, man.
Sydney
Jake-
next up, pick 14. Bid on Jake Rogers
pick
from
14.
the Gold Coast Academy.
Yeah. Here we go.
Is
They-
about
they
where
get
we
their
saw him
free
landing,
bye.
right?
So to match the bid, they've got to give up.
42, 47, 49.
My lord, what a system!
And they get one back too, 65.
Yeah. Outrageous. This is my tip for the premiership next year, the Sydney Swans. All Sydney grand final next year.
Sydney GWS. How many years in a row you bet on GWS?
No,
winning the
too
flag?
much. I mean, it's just a love for my son, Tom. That's a nervous couple of minutes, isn't it, while they wait to see what happens.
See if they bid.
Yeah, Jake Rogers, a midfielder. He won the MVP of the U18s champs. He was pretty solid for the Allies.
What sort of mid, mate? More just the inside, get the numbers, or has he got a bit of dare and flair?
I reckon he's got a bit of both. He gets in and around the ball, can get the hard ball, but if he gets on the outside, there's no catching him.
He's just so quick, yeah.
Super quick, really good by foot. Obviously, he played with Jed Walter all year this year, Allies Gold Coast. So I think he was a big part in making Jed Walter look good. But I think he's a good pickup.
What tops he got on? What's his local?
Broadbeach Cats, I think.
Broadbeach Cats.
Broadbeach, yeah.
If you could compare him to someone at capacity, boys, like if you could, if everything goes smooth and he reaches his potential, what sort of player currently playing would you think he plays a bit like?
Jeez, you're stretching my knowledge there.
Yeah.
I'll give you a lesson 101, boys. Just throw a name out there. Oh, jeez, there's a bit. To be honest, there's a bit of Sam Mitchell about him.
I reckon he gives me a bit of Maxi Gawn.
Yeah, that'll do. I'll take that.
Plays like a small Max Gorn.
Yeah, they've all got some fresh cuts, don't they, the boys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to look pretty for the camera. They know the spotlight's on them.
Is Dimmer got a tan, or is just the red froze like that compared to the black top?
No, he'd be tanned. Hey, with your own content, boys, who do you pick next year as being your... Obviously, Harley Reid was the golden goose this year. Who's going to be the player that that's going to draw the most clicks?
Man, next year's a weird year because there's no Harley Reid, there's no Nick Watson, there's no player who you look at and it's like that guy's number one.
Yeah, the year prior we had Ashcroft, the year prior was Dacos.
But there's probably I'd say 5 to 10 guys who could all contend for that number one pick. You're looking at like Levi Ashcroft, probably won't go number one because he's a Brisbane boy if he chooses to go there. But let's say there's Levi Ashcroft, there's a country kid Finn O'Sullivan who's tipped to go pretty high. Metro boys Levi, I just said Levi, Jagger Smith, Josh Smilly, Christian Moraes.
Yeah,
there's just a bunch of midfielders, and then interstate Sid Draper. His older brother's playing for Collingwood right now, and another Broadbeach cat, Leo Lombard, who's a Gold Coast Academy player who'll go there next year. He's a young
played
stud.
He played
in their VFL
grand final.
Played in their VFL granny as like a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Against Werribee?
Yeah, Mickey Barlow couldn't stop him.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
when you boys turn up,
you go.
So when coming through footy, whenever you saw the recruiters, you'd get a bit twitchy. When people see you guys circling around at their footy games, do they need a lift or do they feel a bit of pressure?
I think the tricks start coming out. They start getting a bit too flashy, potentially.
Yeah. Yeah. Trouble with the coaches, but looks good on TikTok.
You get some flash coming out, but no, honestly, I don't know. I think it doesn't really, affect them too much. There's they're good either way, the boys.
Yeah, there's probably two types of players. There's the players that show up but make sure that you don't think that they know you're there. And then there's the guys who show up and want you to know they're there. We've got like a gallery of just players just looking straight into the barrel of the camera.
Yeah, love it.
And there's a few boys. I probably won't name them, but that are a bit serial in that way.
Yeah, do it. Give us one.
Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, give us one that loves it.
I'm not getting myself in this.
Maxi Gawn.
There you go. It didn't take long.
But
we got pick 15.
Oh, here we go. You reckon? What do the Swans need?
The Swans, they
don't need much,
they
do
need
they?
key defence.
I've got Joe Hamling.
I mean, yeah, but he's oldish,
Yeah.
and McCartan obviously gone. Next year's draft, I think, speaking to someone yesterday, is predominantly the top end will be midfielders. Am I right in saying that at the moment the first 6 or so are probably going to be mids?
Yep, I think the top 10, the majority of it's going to be mids. I think outside of midfielders, there's one boy out in Adelaide who's an Adelaide father-son as a forward, Tyler Welsh. But outside of that, I think it's going to be predominantly midfielders. So I wouldn't be surprised if this year some midfielders fall down the draft boards with clubs looking for next year.
Yeah, good point.
Jeez, what's happening to the cameraman in the Sydney room?
Sydney's picks in.
Sydney picking at 15.
Can you beat? He's been there forever. He's been in footy forever. Charlie Gardner, Dean Cox up the back there. Obviously Horse. Not a lot of hair on a couple of them in there.
Yeah, it's an affliction. Stressed.
John
Are they taking extra time or something?
Jordan Croft. So the Bulldogs will match this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jordan Croft, the Bulldog father-son.
Bid pending,
People.
match it. What do they got to give up? A rookie pick or something? Geez, his dad was Dower. Can you remember his dad?
Nah, I'll keep it.
Mate, Dower, like, I reckon there's vision of him. He used to wear a glove a bit. Like that sort of...
Is he back or mid?
Back.
Do you reckon
Yeah, I think he had a
defenders when their
big
sons
last
are forwards?
championships game. Kicked 5, I think,
Yeah,
5
right.
or 6, right?
Yeah, he had a few big games, Crofty.
Yeah.
This is a nervous minute.
Yeah,
I'll
nervous.
play
Do you want to go to Sydney or do you want to go to Dad's old club that's just around the corner from Calder?
Yeah, yeah.
Take me to Sydney.
Sydney said no to Dunkley that time, right?
Yeah.
Did we just talk about that?
Hey?
Did we just talk about that?
No.
Talking about
Match
father sons. Hey, talking about father sons and academy picks. The Bulldogs have had a fair run of it the last few years.
Yeah.
Bloody
Yeah,
oath.
there's Sam Darcy last year, Jamara the year before, now this Jordan Croft. Mate, they're playing the system over there in the West.
They are playing the system. I just don't know whether they know what they are at the moment, though. They've got Darcy, Jamara, Croft, obviously, Bailey
Norton.
Smith's young, but then they've got a lot of the other end of the list as well. That there's not a great deal of. Are they wanting to be young and getting better, or are they topping up to be premier contender? Now this is a sophisticated group of mates.
Yeah, no one's going too crazy, are they? A few handshakes,
I don't. Is he a private school boy?
surely.
Nah, public
Is he an
school boy.
APS?
Oh,
Public?
hey,
Public
hello.
school. Yeah, Maribyrnong College, my high school, so I'll claim him on that one.
Yeah, nice. The mate, sophisticated group of young men.
That's it.
Who's that? Harley Reid's mates who just walked past the camera with fresh
West Coast caps.
West Coast hats? Yeah. Dishing them
There
out.
was talk of
Did you know we drafted-
there was talk of trade of Bailey Smith. Do you reckon that was all chatter, or what do you think that? How was that?
I think Hawthorn were
Hawthorn.
involved in that trade. Yeah, I'm a Bailey Smith man.
Yeah.
Obviously, I reckon things got away a little bit from him, and he hasn't been playing his best football since. But I think we forget how young he is. Like some of those games he had last year, not the season just gone, the year earlier.
Yeah.
And then he just derailed his season himself. He got done for 2 weeks or whatever, then did the headbutt. Thing. Like he was set up for an unbelievable season and then just derailed himself. So anyone with that running capacity, I think his kicking's a little bit of a concern, but if you're having it 35 times, you're bound to turn it over a few. So I'm certainly not out on Bailey Smith, and if Hawthorn if that did go through, I would have thought it would have been a good thing. But yeah, it's interesting. He needs to have a big year though. He needs to have a big year.
Yeah, absolutely. I reckon Jamara will have a pretty big year as well.
He's primed,
Yeah,
didn't he? Last year, a few of those games, he was looking real nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, give him one more year to develop. He could be something special.
Yeah. It tends
I
to be
agree
like
with
that.
that.
He's
Jordan Croft
got a bit of
footage.
vision of Jordan Croft rolling through.
I think I know that Norton just signed till he's 65, but
Yeah.
I reckon Jamara goes past Norton this year as the number one forward. I reckon.
You push Norton further up the ground.
Yeah, I think Jamara's the match winner. Having said that, not a bad second fiddle either.
Aaron Norton, not bad at all, eh?
What do you reckon? So
The,
Crofty goes to the Bulldogs. How long do you reckon for him to develop if he's going to become something? You look at Jamara, and he's been in the system 4 or 5 years now. Key forwards take a bit of time.
Yeah, Darcy's another one. I know he's had his concerns with injury and health, but there's players that ruin it for everyone. The key forward who comes in, like Chris Judd ruined it for everyone, coming in and dominating like he did. It's an expectation that you just dominate. Whereas, mate, I reckon as a tall like that, you're probably 3-4 years away from, Jamara's track where we thought he was no good there early days, and then he's shown a little bit. Now he's shown a lot. It's 5 years for these big keys.
Sydney's picks in at 16. We still have James Leake's probably the one.
Oh, there they go. More reppies.
Will Green got the ruck, the big fella.
That's early for him too, right? They went early on a ruck.
There we go, Willie Green. Gone for the big ruckman.
I saw Dean Cox in that room. I reckon Big Coxie.
You reckon he's had a say in that?
said, I've seen something, boys. I've seen something in him. I don't mind this, though. I don't know if he meant to do that, but that was really good what I'm just seeing, running with the footy.
Holding the ball up.
Yeah. How tall is he? He must be 2'6" or 2'7" or something.
Oh, we've got the Marmalade boys just tapping in now. So these guys have blown up. These guys have blown up in the last couple months.
Go unlock him.
Got Schrader.
Fellas, how are we?
How are we, mate? You watching the draft?
Just waiting to get drafted.
Yeah. Do you reckon you get a late pick, like a surprise pick coming up, or?
Yeah, I think it'll be me. I'm coming in at 17. Me and the Saints have had a few words. Me and Sauce had a few conversations. So we'll just wait until this one gets picked.
Yeah, perfect. We asked some questions to our followers. We've gotten an ungodly amount of questions about milk for you boys. Could you give us a bit of a background of that?
Yeah, so pretty much we started playing some pretty average level of footy, and then we had a young fella, Finn, bring us some chocolate milk out to drink at half time, and just sort of took off from there, really. And, couldn't stop the my fast-moving train.
Yeah, that's it. What's the off-season looking like for you?
Playing a bit of cricket, but besides that, probably not a lot of footy content besides probably the draft. So lots of cricket. We're playing 9th Division cricket, so that's something else. But not much besides that.
9th Division. Is that like high level? Is that like sneaky high level cricket where like it goes down to 4th and 5th and then it goes up at the 9th?
No. We sort of play on a primary school oval. You sort of play on a 14-year-old's level. A lot of 60-year-old men and 14-year-old kids. So
yeah,
not at high level.
And you're dominating that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I heard you had a good innings the other day.
Yeah. I got on to a few, made 37, but we didn't win, so I was a bit flat. But yeah, 37 against a couple of senior citizens. Mate, the Saints taking a long time. They told me they're going to take me straight away, and we're 2 minutes in. They haven't picked me yet.
Yeah, you can see you on the screen now. Look, he's pointing.
Yeah, they're going.
Oh, here we are. Yeah,
they're waiting for a bid.
I'm waiting for the phone call. Phone to ring. You'll have to get off the phone. You'll have to get off the call.
Is that
Sauce is calling you as we speak.
Oh, here we are. Sauce on the phone. Who do you reckon they're going to take if it's not me?
It's not worth the conversation, is it?
Oh, it's Sauce, is it? Yeah, Sauce. Yeah, I am better than all your sons. Yeah, that is true. Yep. But, well, you said you're going to pick me straight away, and there's still a couple of minutes left on here, so I mean, I need an extra few $100,000 on top of the contract here. So he's a hard bargaining size. You can't get on people. All right, thanks, mate. Yep, I'll be down at RSC Park next few months because preseason doesn't count for me. Oh, thanks, mate. Cheers. He's playing hardball with me.
How did you enjoy your grand final week, mate? Your content was outstanding. I absolutely loved it. But how did you enjoy the whole grand final week?
Mate, they've just dogged you.
Yeah, they've just traded me to Greater Western Sydney. Oh my gosh. I reckon I'll look good in orange though. It's huge. Yeah, I think nothing like it. But that was the second grand final I've ever been to, and I don't think.
Oh, we've done. He's got now. He's got Jason McCartney calling him on the line. Interrupted the call.
Lost him out.
Well, while we wait to get back old Australia, we got our podcast co-host on the Hardball Gets. We decided he's got bigger things to do tonight.
Also the Channel 7 news anchor.
Yeah, well, he's got to read the news.
Have a look. In you come, Ryan Daniels.
You can't hear anyone, but come in, mate.
No, we talk a bit of...
I didn't get the invite. We talked about this on the podcast, and Nick, you said you'd get back to me. I'm still waiting on my call.
Mate,
so clearly not invited.
Read the news?
Well,
Basil?
That's true. Well, we could get Baz back.
Basil's got too much stuff in his schedule, mate.
We can get Barra, Ben Cousins.
Now, what are you going to say? Say, sorry, North Melbourne and Curtin didn't happen.
Yeah, well, I never said he was going to happen. This would be Leak, right? Leak should be going here. Yeah, it was what they were going to take him earlier before they traded pick 7.
Yeah, I think it's Leak.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's Leak.
Yeah, it's Leak.
So they traded back up because he was still on the board.
Yes. Now watch our man Riley Hardiman, St Kilda WA boy.
Yeah,
he could be in that next front. Right. The Saints do like him, so there should be 2 more West Aussie blokes go tonight. Hardiman, and maybe Collard. Maybe Collard. Hardiman more likely than Collard, but it could happen.
We've got James Leake.
How you guys been going?
James Leake on the line.
Is this going all right?
Good, it's going all right.
Couldn't have to do it again next year.
We got Ray here from Marmalade. He's been traded to GWS, so he's going.
He's absolutely spilled.
I think Sauce will just moving a few pieces around, so I think I'm going to come.
Sauce is moving the pieces around.
He's always a hard bargainer, so we'll just see how we go.
What type of player are you? Are you a mid? Are you a forward? What type of player?
Yeah, forward, mate. There's no, forward's been premierships, so not interested in anything else. Pick a few snags with a couple Colemans. Not interested in anything else.
Yeah.
Who's this? You better than me, or?
If you had to compare yourself to an AFL player, mate, what are you coming in as?
Oh, we had this question on one of the podcasts. I said Jack Martin just because he's a bit of an undersized forward. Sort of an undersized, not a key forward, but he's not a small forward. He's in the middle, and I think that's what I am, in the middle of key and small forward. But he's obviously much better than me, but I think it's close.
Well, mate, you're talking to the right man. Rhino's here. Rhino's the last man on Jack Martin Island, I think.
I still believe. I still believe.
I love what Jack Martin does. I mean, I probably... Oh, what's going on? Jeez, God. No, love Jack Martin. Love the Blues. I'm a Crows fan. Blues are going to be my second team. They're unreal.
No, me and you both, mate. I think you and I have a little cabana on Jack Martin Island. It's nice out there. It's sunny most of the time. These two blokes tried to get a ticket to holiday there at some point this year, but we wouldn't let it. Hey, just on this bloke, James Leake. His last name's Leake and he's a defender. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, no, you're right. He's got Sam Taylor down there.
Yeah, he's got Sam Taylor to help him. So he should be okay.
Now tonight, mate, if you are drafted, we've seen a few groups of absolute reptiles. We've seen shirts ripped off one player. We've seen a blood nose by the player. Mate, the name gets called out. Is it straight to the pub, and is it going to be on for young and old?
Oh, jeez, not about that. Sauce reckons, get in the gym early, but I think there's a few current drives calling my name at the pub, so we'll see how we go.
Mate, so 2 minutes, 18 seconds, your AFL dream gets realised. Probably, that was probably a positional pick, I reckon, because they got Cadman in last year, so they probably couldn't take you there.
No,
how are you going to work with Max King?
Yeah, me and Max King, I can just get around his feet, Yeah, he's not always as he's not always as consistent as as I could be in the forward line. So it's just good, to have that high level of consistency that I can bring.
Geez, they got Harley Reid in that jumper for a fair while. He's still in the number 9 jumper.
You know what's making me nervous is because Harley Reid is supposed to be doing a live cross for us with Nick Nat in about 40 minutes. And he doesn't look like a man who's heading towards outside Marvel Stadium. Because there's a mural of his face and they're supposed to be out there right now. So it's making me a little nervous. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Harley, if you can hear me, go outside.
The old, no, you're relying on Nick Nat to be there too. That's
exactly.
That's
he
the
works
issue.
on Nick Nat time, so I'm stuffed.
Yeah, I got a minute left on me here, and Softy's playing some serious hardball.
Is it just the chalky milk's the sticking point? How much and how often?
Oh, here we are. Oh, God, yeah, it has to be. That's in the contract for sure. Leaders on leaders.
Picks in.
Pick is in.
Do they wait to the end, obviously, to see if anyone wants to trade up?
I reckon they drag it out a little bit.
Yeah,
for
gee.
Drama, wouldn't you? Would you go? Would you go straight away?
Bang. Put the pressure on.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. If you're going to trade the future pick or whatever, it's going to happen. Like,
that's true.
Not in the last 30 seconds.
True.
So is it?
Oh, what a night! What a night!
Of the bloody
Congratulations, mate. Who's got the jumper?
Bit of Nathan Burke.
Yeah.
Mate, how do you feel, mate? How do you feel? Pick 17.
Oh, yeah, it's emotional. Pick 7. Oh, what was it? 18.
Pick 18, mate.
Pick 18.
Not high enough for me. That's not in the high enough pay bracket. But look, yeah, we'll move. The pub's calling my name, so we might have to leave you.
Yeah.
That's all right, mate.
Congratulations, mate. What a night. Dream come true.
Well done, boys. Well done.
Thanks, boys. Really appreciate it, mate.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Darcy Wilson to say, I must have got something wrong here. It says Darcy Wilson, but he's clearly straight.
There's Robert
I
Harvey.
think he goes behind Darcy Wilson.
Yeah, he must be.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what the birth certificate says. Hey, Ryan, what do we like? Is everyone sort of playing out how you looked at it?
There's a couple of bolters. The Phoenix kid from GWS.
Yeah. You like it?
It came out of nowhere.
We like it though.
Look, I don't mind when clubs do what they want to do.
His name's Phoenix, mate. It's got to be good.
He's going to rise at some point, right?
It's got to be
That's what
good.
they do.
That's right.
The interesting one was
let him go.
Was
Let him
Adelaide.
have another fun.
Adelaide was an interesting one because they only really got super aggressive about Curtin in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
So we knew there was a queue. West Coast were on that phone. I know for a fact they were on that phone trying to make it happen. GWS from the start always said they just wanted picks this year.
Yeah.
They didn't necessarily want a future pick. They wanted to make pick. They wanted this elite kid. They wanted a couple other selections later on. So I think maybe West Coast thought that they'd blink and take that future first. They didn't. And so Curtin's at Adelaide. He'll fit right in anywhere he goes.
Well, Fraser McGuinness would be the main man who not pulled the main strings, but
there you go, because he's the Crows WA recruiter.
Yeah,
an ex-Eagle. Jeez, right?
Yeah,
they're one of their own. Just burned them.
There you go.
Maybe they should give him a job.
Well, I know that they were going to trade that future first. I think it would have been outrageous to have traded the future first. If you're a punting man, they're $1.30, $1.40 to be pick one again next year.
Yeah.
I just couldn't understand the rationale of trading a pick one-ish for a pick 8. It made no sense.
I had some mates of mine who are Eagles fans messaging me devastated, and I just said, think about it this way. You've now still got your first next year.
Yeah, but
so if you finish last or you finish second or third or last or whatever it is, you got that pick next year.
Trading the first round draft pick would have been like a one-night stand.
Yeah.
You're getting the action immediately.
Yeah.
I'm after a marriage and keeping the future first. That's where you get a
long-term commitment.
I think so. Sometimes you make decisions like that.
Yeah.
And you get Curtin's obviously, and I wish he's going to be a good player.
Yeah.
But you just don't know what's going to happen if you got pick one next year.
Yeah, I agree. I think everyone got a bit excited. Daniel Curtin's going to be a fine player, and I think they love the idea of the homegrown kid. He could be anything. His ceiling is very high, and I think his basement is low. I said this to you, like he reminds me a lot of Oscar Allen.
Yeah.
Just his demeanour, his professionalism, his maturity at that age. He's got some leadership qualities. I just think you can't miss with this kid. Now, whether or not he's going to be an absolute superstar or just a very good player.
Well, Adelaide need.
Well, yeah,
key
selfishly
defenders.
adding him to that mix brings Adelaide's basement up next year, right?
I don't think next
They're
year.
already moving. I reckon he plays next year.
Yeah,
I
but-
don't think he's got a lot to learn in the two.
Goes with our man, Michael Laney.
Michael Laney, yeah.
He goes with him,
Mick
which
Laney,
we like him.
Michael Laney.
Yeah, we like him. Yeah,
we love
absolutely.
that bloke. We can't say his name, but we love him. And then old mate Fisher Mackesy, couldn't say his name either.
He's gone, isn't
He's gone.
Yeah.
So, but
that's the void, and there's injuries
Correct.
obviously with key defenders in.
Yep.
Adelaide.
I'm going to have to go because I got to see if Harley.
You just call Harley
I just
Reid.
saw that jumper still in the background. It's
Yeah.
making me very nervous. I'm going to go make some calls. You guys are doing a great job.
Good,
Good on you,
mate.
mate.
Thanks for dropping
Thanks
in.
for the invite, Nick.
No worries at all.
There was only enough budget for one of us, mate.
There you go, pick 19.
What's the
pick
Adelaide
19.
don't have like a pick 19? Is it in? There we go.
North
Yeah, Adelaide
Melbourne.
don't really have like a catchy flag nickname, do they? Flag Crows doesn't really work.
Flag from.
Flag Crom.
Gee, that's a fair frizz, isn't it?
It is.
You definitely didn't get a haircut for draft night.
I
No.
don't think he realised he was going to be on camera.
Yeah.
As soon as Clarko sat down next to him, he's going, "Oh shit."
Todd Viney, Clarko, Brady
There you go.
Rawlings,
Hawthorn,
Nicky
Beard,
Barlow didn't get an invite to
Will
this. Yeah?
First,
McCabe.
Will McCabe.
McCabe, Hawthorn bid pending.
Father son.
Yeah.
So they'd have to give up 42 and 44 to get McCabe.
But you're just doing it, aren't you?
Yeah, you're just doing it.
If this is where someone rates Will Clarko too, a little one across the bloody.
Did he?
No, but like
Yeah, oh yeah.
bidding on the Hawthorn player.
Oh, hello. Yeah, I didn't pick up on that. They don't look particularly stressed. I think they just match it right. You know it's coming, you get the picks. Oh, good, but that's actually Mitch does look a bit stressed.
I randomly had a good chat to him on the phone yesterday, Mitch. Geez, a good brain to talk footy with.
Yeah,
Like, just...
gets it.
No, probably get sick of asking questions, but... Like me asking questions, but yeah. He does a good job. Does a very good job.
So how we go after this? We're at about 9. What are we at? Pick 19? Yeah, okay, so Hawthorn's matched.
Especially when it has Hawthorn in the background on the
On
vision.
the- yeah. Oh, there we
Neil
go.
picked up for the
Fresh.
Hawks. 19.
Do you reckon it's just the same group of blokes? They've just got them. They're paid actors. They're just going from table to table just to rough people up.
They did want to bring a bit more excitement to the night. What's he writing, Mitch?
Don't
Tick.
know. Yeah. You boys, you boys been watching the? Well, we are. I know we're doing footy, but have you been keeping a strong eye on the NBA?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a few like the NBA for Australia hasn't been any stronger ever. So we've got Ben Simmons who's out injured, but he was playing great at the start of the year. Josh Giddey, and then Dyson Daniels is actually number one in. It's a weird stat, but he's number one in deflections at the moment in the NBA, which is it's a sign. It's a a weird stat is a good one because it's a sign of a great defender. So he's playing elite, a Bendigo boy that we covered heaps. So the NBA is just really strong right now. Do you have a team? Are you following it at all?
Mate, I do. I watch an absolute truckload of it.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I was an OKC man. Like Durant, Harden, Westbrook, Serge Barker days, and big Perkins, but yeah, now they're young. It seems like the dream team to follow, just because Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, like they really got that young core. So I don't want to look like I've jumped on board. So I've I love Dame. I love Dame, so then I'm probably bouncing over to the Bucks a little bit, and I need to find Sabonis. So I like Sabonis, so maybe I can pick Fox and Sabonis where they're not the top of the tree, and it doesn't look like I'm a groupie.
Jumping on.
Yeah, that might be me actually.
Yeah, that's interesting. A Sabonis fan. That's probably one of the first I've heard, but he's playing well, isn't he?
Mate, think of ruckman in footy. They struggle to actually walk. Mate, Sabonis has got tricks. He's got tricks.
Yeah, I know. No, you said that you were an early OKC fan. I've been a Spurs fan since I was young, which nobody believes. So now that I say I'm a Spurs fan with Wemby, it's pretty it's unbelievable. Nobody really takes my word for it, but I really have been.
Pretty sure young means about 2 weeks ago. But,
Yeah.
What about
rocking around the freshest Tim Duncan jersey anyone's ever seen, just to prove you were there early?
No, I had a Tony Parker jersey back in 2010, and I'm trying to dig up a photo of it because that would really prove my point, but I haven't found it yet.
It's funny too with Wemby. Like we talk about these young kids that get drafted, and Jamara, for example, we thought battling early, then showing. Like Wemby played his first game of Summer League, and it was like, he's too skinny. He's no good. Yeah. He's too skinny. Yeah. And now, like, he's the number one box office player that you just sit there and go, how staggering it is.
Yeah, he's dominating. Not like even veteran NBA players, they can't. They're shooting just a regular jump shot that they've shot their whole career, and he's blocking it, and they're realizing that it's a whole new game now. Like these young 7-footers are coming in, and it's just they're taking over. So it's pretty nice to see what he's been able to do.
Well,
I'm just laughing. We know who to blame now. So looks like Harley Reid's on his way out the door, and he's been bailed up for a chat by Brian Walsh, the head media in the NFL. Yeah. So, Rono, Walsh is your man if you're asking for one.
What was I going to say? I went to the Perth Wildcats on Thursday night, just gone, and Saar, who's projected top 3 or 4 NBA draft. You just get you forget that they're 7 foot. Like, out there, and he didn't play a lot of game time, still played well. But you look at 7-footers and think, gee whiz, like the athleticism is incredible.
So we got pick in at number 20 for North Melbourne.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's the Taylor
Hardiman?
Gold, South Australian.
Right. What's going on with the early rucks?
Got to get in early. Mid's a dime a dozen. Oh, look at him. Look at the big fella.
So this is because normally with rucks it's like top 10 or you get a battler. If you don't have a really good ruck, you might as well get a battler.
But I'm also so we've had South Australian ruckman gone.
Yep.
Allies ruckman gone.
And Vic ruckman
gone. Surely one of them was getting towed up by 20. The other.
Yeah. All in the top 20.
Why they all get? Someone had to get dominated.
Well, there was an order. Ethan Reid was doing most of the dominating, and then it was the next bloke.
Yeah.
And then it was Taylor Goad.
For sure.
How far down did you guys go with your jumper swaps?
We did the top 5 and we got them all correct, but
we're leaving 5 for 5 on the night, so we're just going to leave it there.
We'll just leave it. It's 100% from the
don't
field.
Have Taylor Goad and his North Melbourne jumper line around.
No, we don't have Taylor Goad at number 20. We didn't go that deep. But, if you're interested in Instagram stats, which I am, Nick Watson's post is doing double as good as Harley Reid. So I think he's going to have some fans, including myself.
Yeah.
But
I think we got a little cult following there.
Yeah, they're saying Hawthorn screwed up again.
Jeez.
Well, who's
best
the
player on the team already?
Mate, he's got 8,500 likes.
Yeah, it's doing all right.
It's doing all right. You happy with that one, boys?
He said looks like you're going to play in the 2s again this year to Jack Ginnivan, which is
not right.
Gee whiz. Actually, I do like the Watson. He looks like he's got a bit of spunk, and those smaller forwards need to have a bit of attitude. And I saw they compared him to Papley on the TV. I mean, if they're not putting someone in a headlock or getting put in a headlock, they're not really a small forward.
Yeah, you got to be angry, right?
Yeah, you got to be angry. Have you guys got from your journey along, doing this stuff. You got some mates running around the AFL?
Yeah, it's funny because we came in like super. It was a bit of a shock to the system, I think. Like to some of those blokes, nobody had ever really filmed footy before. So for us to come in, it was a bit of a, it was a new thing, and we've kind of learned how to build relationships with boys and work with them. So yeah, we've got a couple. We filmed, everyone for the last 2 years that was picked. We've filmed last 3 years, including this one. So it's in 10 years' time, it'll be interesting to see like where those relationships go and how many of them we've covered in the AFL. It'll be almost all of them, right? So it's a kind of a new wave, a new thing. It's a bit, it's scary, but it's fun. It's great.
Where are you recording tonight, out of interest?
We're just out of a warehouse in Tullamarine, so you might hear some planes going out the back.
Do you hear a couple a bit on the flight path?
I like the pool tables and everything in the background. I was like, mate, you blokes are living the high life.
Oh yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, it's a bit too far. We would call this the home base, but I'm east side Melbourne, so it's about an hour drive. So we can't really call it home base, which is a bit. It's all right, but it's a good little spot. Hey,
yeah, bloody oath. I like it. Yeah,
we're looking to get some of those. Speaking on mates, we're looking to get some jerseys, like potentially get some jerseys signed and have them up on the wall, but we haven't really gotten that far yet. So that's the next step for us, is to deck out the office.
Yeah, bloody oath. That'd be sick. Yeah. If you could pick one jersey from the players you've covered the last 3 years, if you could pick one that you get the first one to go on the wall, who would it be?
Oh, jeez. What we want to find is like a Talent League jersey and get the Talent League one signed. If we could get a Harley Reid Bendigo jersey, that would be good. That would be the number one. Yeah.
We got pick 21, Adelaide, Charlie Edwards.
Charlie Edwards.
There you go. He's another Melbourne Grammar boy.
APS boy. Had some strong numbers.
Oh, just adding IQ to the AFL every pick now.
Amazing they overcome their adversity to sort of make their way to the AFL.
Well,
facilities are no good.
You guys would have covered the Melbourne Grammar Scotch game this year. Who actually won? I didn't see.
Yeah, I think Melbourne Grammar lost by a good 100 points, but
it's hard to say. But the Melbourne Grammar boys were not very strong this year. Besides Riley Sanders and a few others.
No, but that's the thing. They weren't very strong this year. I don't think they won many games, but they've got 2 guys in the top 20, and I don't think many other APS squads do.
Yeah.
So take it while you can.
Sack the coach. That's what I'm hearing.
From out of Sandhurst.
Is that
Community Club?
Is that near Bendigo?
You're the one from regional Victoria, mate.
Let me have a look. I'm not hearing too many Lakes Entrance names being called out.
Oh,
plays like Will Day, they reckon. Righto.
Yeah, right.
Medium defender and midfielder. Bit of a bolter. Rapid aggression for Sandy Dragon. Oh, this is a bloke who didn't play. He didn't play under 18, is that right? The national champs?
No, he didn't play the national champs. Didn't get a national combine invite either. So it's pretty under the radar. Right. I think only the last 5 or 6 rounds of the year he really showed out in like the wildcard series.
Here we go.
And,
we got a bit of vision coming up.
Bolted up.
Oh yeah, he's that sort of tall. 191 centimetres, good size.
Yeah, good size on him.
Yeah, I can see now why they use Will Day as a player comparison.
Tell you what, Will Day could be something this year, I reckon. Like, I know he won the best first, but an actual...
Well, like All-Australian squad team?
Yep.
Brownlow?
Not Brownlow, won't win enough games, but that's certainly an opportunity down the track. So you got an Essendon supporter. Who else do we support, gentlemen?
I'm a Doggy supporter, but look, I don't know. I'm not that loyal.
Mate, you would have been how old when they won the flag in 2016?
I was 16. Go by the year. Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been a reasonable day.
Yeah, definitely was. Yeah, 100%. I had a bit I won't say too much fun, but yeah, I had a bit of fun. I was 16. I was 16.
But I mean, like,
It's playing Minecraft and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Mate,
exactly.
mate, ask me how old I was last time the Bombers won a premiership.
Yeah.
well, going by the year, not born.
I was about 3 weeks off being born, and I was about 4 years old the last time we won a premiership, won a final. So living through a pretty rough period here.
Yeah, mate. And I can't say I'm good. I'm close friends with Matt Rose, who's just taken over the list. So him running the list, no chance. Nah, he's a good man, mate. He'll do a fantastic job.
Who you boys follow? You out west? Who are you, Nick? You a West
I'm
Coast
Freo. Well, I'm from Queensland, so I bought a membership of the Gold Coast when they were like GC17 bid times, just to put my stake in the ground. But then they never went any good, so stuck fat with Freo, who only sparingly went any good.
Yeah, that's fair.
What are you? Hawthorn.
No.
Don't care.
No, look, I want both of them to do well, West Coast and Hawthorn.
It depends what the stock levels are like at the Sport Nut warehouse, who you want to do well, right?
Look, I'm a big fan of Collingwood at the moment. Look, Hawthorn, I think you boys would agree, like, they're young and they play a good version of footy. They're obviously finishing lower down the ladder. But West Coast, well, they've lost 9 games by over 100 in the last 2 years. We've had to call those games. It's a hard watch to sit through it all. So I enjoy watching what Hawthorn are doing.
Yeah, they've got something special brewing there, especially on the back end of last year. Will Dawson picked 22 to... Mate, North Melbourne picked 22 and 23. This is their 5th pick in the first round.
Jesus.
Now, Clarko, hurry up, mate. You can't pretend that you haven't got this pick ready to go.
Yeah.
Mate, he took 6 months off last. He took 6 months off last year. He should at least have this down pat.
Yeah. And Gippsland boy.
So Will Dawson,
Liam Gather, that's Dyson Heppel, Jared Ruffhead's home club.
Okay.
What do you reckon, boys?
Key backs, right?
Do you reckon Country Boys or Metro? Which produces the better talent?
I'll tell you what, if I was going to war, I know who I'd want with me. The Country Boys.
Yeah, that's
I don't know. I always, I suppose it depends who you're playing alongside. I guess if you're in the same team as Chris Judd from Sandringham, you're probably going City Sliggers. But I always thought, I don't know, the Country Boys, because you got to travel across. Like we used to drive to Bendigo, which was 7 hours or something, to play a game of footy at midday. I don't know. I just think the journey for some of the Country Boys is a bit tougher, but I'm probably Country, but I'm biased.
I reckon the Fox Footy have taken the feedback this year and wheeled back the player comparisons. Will Dawson just got compared to Sava Radaglia. Yeah.
Didn't Sava just sign a big contract?
Is that Port?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got Port now.
Yeah, that's not a bad draft, hand. They'll be happy with that.
McKercher, Dursma,
They'll be like the whole end of the ground.
Yeah, mid forward, ruck, key defender. So the next person's on the bench.
North Melbourne's list.
What do you reckon? What position are they going for? So they got the forward, they got the mid, they got a ruck, defender.
I think they'll go key back again if there's anything there.
Key back.
Well, talking about North Melbourne boys, Sheasel and Wardlaw last year. So rewind to when they weren't in the AFL. You guys would have covered them. Could you separate them? I think there's Clarko said he fell in love with Wardlaw. Those two, do they surprise you? Sheasel was incredible this year. Wardlaw had his injuries and whatnot, but also showed plenty. Did they surprise you at all, or what you see is what you get?
Sheasel for me, obviously, he got picked high, but he was a surprise for me, playing as well as he did. When we were filming him, I remember my first game that I filmed his season. He kicked like 4, and he was a sneaky guy. Like, not many people knew him. I think we were the first to report him, and he was sneaky, but I just wouldn't have seen like however many disposals he averaged this year. It was ridiculous. I think it definitely surprised me. Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair though, like watching him last year, the talent he had though, like just his talent, even in those talent league games, you'd see him do things that people just weren't doing. One-hand pickups, snaps around the corner. I remember I went down to one of those North Melbourne pre-season games, and he was dribbling the footy around like a basketball, and it was just like, okay, this kid is different, and it just shows in how he's translated to footy. But I think Wardlaw was pretty throughout the year. He was just solid. He was solid every time he played. You knew what you were getting. He was going to be that big kind of inside mid. He was going to get it out to the outside mids. Just consistent. We knew he was going to be a top 3. I think he was a top 3 guy all year. So, but Sheasel, yeah, I think he's a different breed in terms of players we've watched.
Yeah, that's interesting.
What the hell are they doing? They've gone 4 minutes. They picked the last bloke. Surely they know.
The Mick Barlow.
There we go.
Mick Barlow's just taken the role as head of development at North. I mean, it's not a bad hand to grit your head.
Yeah, he's really
not a bad one.
begrudgingly took over the list with so many good under-20s.
He's big on power.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Pick 23.
Riley Arterman, your boy.
Oh, hello. Like this one.
You happy with that?
Yeah, I like Riley Hardeman.
Defender. There you go.
Yeah, half back.
Yeah.
He played seniors. I went down the first game of the year at Swan District.
Swan District,
there.
Yeah. Had some good players come out of Swan Districts.
What do you reckon? How do you think he's going to translate?
No, I think he'll translate pretty well. That like half-back distributor. I don't know if he'll be like straight in the side kind of vibes. Like he might take a bit of time, but knows what to do with the pill.
Oh, here we go again. Yeah, that's cool. Whereabouts was he schooled and stuff? Is he?
Not sure. I don't think he's not a PSA boy.
No, out the Swan Districts way. Oh, the mum and sister, and he's in tears too.
Mum's lost it.
Oh, I love seeing that. Cavisham.
So I probably didn't pick him to go before Collard.
You didn't?
Nah. Well, not at this, maybe earlier, but I thought he might be drifting a little bit later.
Did you boys do many trips out west?
Yeah, we did too. I went up for the first one and got 3 Colts games, and that was unreal. Who did I see? I saw Curtin. I saw a couple other boys, and then Nate did a second trip.
Yeah, it was those two super rounds. I was up for that second week and got to see Riley Hardman play, but I think he kicked a goal and had 14 touches in a half, and then got hit in the head or something like that and missed the rest of the game. So didn't get to see too much of him, but there's a few talented boys out there, and then that Lance Collard 6-goal game as well.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be absolutely?
Yeah, you go.
Wouldn't you be absolutely packing yourself though? Like this kid's just been at home with the family, then all of a sudden you just throw it on TV to everyone. Like it's with a blink of an eye, your life's just changed.
On TV to everyone. Tomorrow you're on a flight to North Melbourne.
Yeah. And knowing Clarko, we'll have him hiking Kokoda or bloody Mount Cook or something by 3 days later.
No, you'd be wrapped.
Oh, here we go. Pies pick next. What do you reckon, boys?
So
what do you reckon Pies this year?
Well, I didn't think they'd go that well last year, so...
No, I had him as the slider this year, winning all those close games 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago. I was like, you lose 3 or 4 of those close ones and you're back amongst the pack. But they kept winning them. It's incredible. Oh, no, Dad, Dad, go.
Dad's been celebrating.
Did you guys get to the grand final?
We got to the curtain raiser, and we didn't. Our media accreditation didn't lend us into the granny, so we had to leave. But
didn't just get lost somewhere. Oh, is that the official line, or is this?
Well, they ushered
No,
you
no,
out.
we left.
We had to. Yeah, we had to.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, evacuated
So-
immediately.
Like the year before,
Oh.
we were over there for the grand final, and we didn't have accreditation, but I had a suit on, and I was just so confident with like whatever I was doing. So I was just everywhere we went, I saw security about 5 meters in front, and I just kept yelling out like, two with me, come on, quickly, come through. We ended up in the rooms, had the Premiership Cup, Robbie Williams, high-fiving him. Mate, we went everywhere.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Mate, you
just got to be...
Just got to know. Just have confidence.
You got to teach us your
confidence.
style, mate.
No, it's just bullshit your way everywhere. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen?
Fair.
So I forget all these picks off. So they got North Melbourne. The pick before this they got from Carlton in the Zach Fisher trade. They give up in that. They got 17 out of Carlton in a Zach Fisher trade.
Yeah, it must have been late. Just a
Wait.
pretty simple swap or something.
They must have given them an earlier one. Next year?
Oh, I don't know.
Who knows?
Can't be much.
And that one, the Hardiman pick got from the Gold Coast in a pick swap. The pick was originally GWS's pick. Oh, hello.
Oh, these are the ones that haven't been drafted. I don't think I meant to put that up.
Caden Cleary. Midfield, what do we know about Caden Cleary? He's ranked 41. He's got picked up at 24. That's a fair leap.
Not much. I know he's
Allies boy.
Yeah, he was Sydney Swans Academy. So I think Sydney Swans Academy.
Gotcha.
40, but he played over there, had a pretty good year. He can pick up a few disposals. Outside of that, I think he kind of got a little bit lost in that Allies midfield who went 4-0.
Stacked.
Obviously with the likes of Sanders, Jake Rogers, but I think he's a pretty solid pickup for the Pies.
In and under, extracts the ball well from stoppages. Ferocious attack on the ball. Average 30, 11 contested and 7 tackles for the Allies. It's not bad.
It's hard to comprehend that the Allies are good.
Yeah.
Like, not that they're, but like years and years.
Has that ever happened? Have they ever been good?
No, like for years and years they had like 3 or 4 players that you're like, oh, they're great, and then there's zero depth. Like to see that the Allies made light work of some of the big brothers is crazy, and it's obviously a flow on from these academies and buying in early and whatnot. But bloody hell.
Well, this looks like a genuine one.
These academies. How do you see like it playing out over the maybe next 10 years or so? Would you reckon they'll keep it the way it is, or?
Oh, I'm big on getting rid of all of them. But still, every single club still has those areas.
You got to develop.
The AFL you still put employment into those areas. You still put budget into those areas. You literally you have employees at the footy club who is their full-time role to develop those areas. So you still have to take it seriously because it's your job. But I don't think you should get any gains because it's just not an even playing field. There's some zones and some areas that are far greater at providing. Just looking at Sydney Swans now. They've reaped the rewards of academies for years. I just think if this draft needs to go back to being what it once was, and an opportunity to actually equalise the competition with academies. It's just not.
Yeah, have you kind of kept on top of how the AFLW has been doing it with their zones and how that works?
No. I knew early days, and I don't know if it's still the same, so correct me if I'm wrong, the West Coast and Fremantle, for example, only had the opportunity to draft out of those.
You can nominate now for like the open pool.
Yeah, right.
But not many do, I think. I think this might only be from the next draft.
Right. I'm not sure, but I know that a WA girl, Ella Roberts, she was easily number one 2 years ago, and she went pick 14 WA via the nomination.
First saw her in that. She was 16, I think, in the grand final. Kicked 3 goals. Was one of the best on the ground. Backed it up the next year. She's been unreal.
She's a star.
Yeah.
I think we got another call in, Caden McDonald.
Oh, we got Kados on.
Yeah.
Kados, how are you, mate?
Kados,
What's
mate.
going on?
How you going? We got the godfather of footy content here. How are you, mate?
Mate, he was one of the first, right?
Yeah, fired it up in 2016. So been chipping away at it for a little while, and yeah, it's pretty cool to see like how the space has grown and sort of the influence of TikTok and whatnot. It's all starting to kick off. So yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Who was 2016? Who were the green shoots then?
Running around on the YouTube scene. Back then, it was probably just me and Twisty3 playing some AFL live content, just playing the PlayStation game. And then, yeah, it slowly progressed into some goal kicking challenges and whatnot. And now, since the arrival of TikTok, they're sprouting out everywhere. So it's great. Can collaborate with more people and pump out content. And I think like footy fans have got more podcasts and stuff to watch now. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we had Joshy Garlett producing our podcast for a while. Saw him grow before our eyes.
He saw the green lights.
He got out of it pretty quickly. Yeah. But most would say that we nurtured him and discovered him, right?
No, we kept him in a job until he found another one.
Right.
Kados, you're a Melbourne supporter. You picked up Caleb Windsor at 7. Do you have any thoughts on that? Have you seen him play?
I have not seen him play, but I know that we need some connection down in the forward line. Going to 4 finals in a row now where we can't hit a target has been so frustrating and so disappointing. So, yeah, apparently the young fella can hit up the forwards, which is super excited. I've already sent off a DM and hoping that he sees it later tonight. I'm a massive fan. I'm on the train. I'm on the Windsor train. So, yeah, can't wait to see what he does next year for us.
Unreal. Yeah, how are you guys looking next year? How's the squad looking in your eyes?
Well, our forward line is made up of a 20-year-old and a backman, so still a little bit concerned, to be honest. Dan Curtin would have been handy. Yeah, I think there's still growth within our side, to be honest. Like, I look around at our team and our backline was full of 20-year-olds. Like, it was sort of Judd McVie and Bowie and Trent Rivers doing a lot of the mopping up last year. So I feel like there's a lot of growth to come just from the 22 itself. Your Tom Sparrows are going to get better. Your Cozzy Pickett's are going to get better. So I'm optimistic, but man, it's the clock's ticking. Like, these sort of lists don't come around that often. So there is, like, I always said if we won one, I'd be, stoked. That would do me for the rest of my days. Because it was in Perth and I was in lockdown, and I was just smashing KFC in the lounge room with Dad, just watching it on the tally. Like, there is this impatience and this sort of drive to see one from the MCC members. So, yeah, I'm hoping we can have some growth. Hopefully we've added pretty well to our list and we can at least pinch a final, for goodness sake. I haven't seen us win a final since 2018.
80% of my mates are Melbourne supporters, I reckon. And the WhatsApp chats when the Clary Oliver trade talks were firing. Obviously, what's happened after that's happened. What were you thinking when Clayton Oliver's name was getting bandied around as a trade and potentially Adelaide were keen? And I thought Freo should have gone chips in as well. I mean, his early record is incredible, Clary. What were you thinking when? And it would have made tonight interesting too if those picks had been sent around a couple of times. What were you thinking?
Oh, well, yeah. Look, there's two sort of components of my brain. One big chunk of the pie that sort of lives in my head is Clayton Oliver is a generational talent. I've never seen anyone come in and make an impact like he has. Like, I used to love draft night every year because it was Christmas for Melbourne supporters, and we just seemed to get it wrong year after year. And then finally we had pick 4 or something, and all year it was like definitely going to be Darcy Parish. And at the last minute, Jason Taylor threw a spanner in the works and picked up this kid who didn't even play big country. And I was like, no, not again. We've stuffed it again. But yeah, what Clary's done to start his career has been phenomenal. There's no way we could have replaced him. So I was just so terrified by the thought of that. But then there's also a part of my brain that's a little bit Moneyball, and it's like, well, if Clary went out, we're going to get so much in, and we've turned in the last few years, picks in the 30s and the 20s into really good players, and we seem to draft really well, and we trade up the table really well. So as much as I definitely didn't want Clary to leave, I was sort of excited by the chaos a little bit, but I'm glad he's staying, and hopefully he can, come back fit and firing and just play the footy that we know he can play. There's no pressure on him to be anything more than what he has been. He just needs to, keep ticking it over, and we'll be pretty happy as a Melbourne supporter group.
We got
Kados,
Harry
can you talk to me about
Dimoteo just picked up by
Demons?
Collingwood.
Kados, can you talk to me about Dossos Demons as Harry Dimoteo gets picked up by Collingwood?
He's got the jumper already.
Yeah, the Dossos Demons. So essentially, I created my own football side and league. So I do a lot of goal kicking challenges on the YouTube channel, and I've got a lot of mates of mine who are channel regulars. And a few years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, myself and one of my best mates who's on the channel quite regularly, Connor Rogers, had a bit of a conversation about whose friendship group would be better at footy. So we put together a 6-on-6 half-court miniature game of football, filmed it all, had commentary, had graphics, and played like a 2 15-minute halves game of football. And my team got up. So I've had that idea of playing like a half-court game of footy on my YouTube channel for the last few years. And I ended up deciding to make it a series on my YouTube channel. So we've challenged like creators and influencers over the last year or so on my YouTube channel. I've created Guernseys, we've got commentary, we've got full match replays, we've got stats, and we're building our way through a season that I've created. So it's been exciting. It does sort of look like I've just put together a football league so I can watch my own highlights back, which may be true. But
there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that at all.
I might watch every game that we've played already just to go to sleep at night, but it's been super fun, and the audience seems to be getting around it, so it's been good.
Yeah, what are you doing like this off season to prepare for the next year? Are you doing anything physically? Any diet tips? Anything you can tell us?
Well, when it rains, it pours with me, and I just got back from Queensland, and I'm not in the mood to cook again. So I think Sunday night I had Hungry Jacks. I reckon last night was Macca's, and then I just finished editing, and I raced over here to watch the draft with the boys, and I picked up a pizza. So it's when it rains, it pours. One brings two, and I'm on a slippery slope at the moment, so I've got to straighten that out. Otherwise, I'm going to be in all sorts by Christmas. So
straighten it out, mate. It's no fun when the horse bolts. I'll give you the hot tip.
It's breakfast is okay. I can sort of go oats, but when it comes to lunch, like for me personally, I'm not good at cooking. Like for dinner and lunch, like I'm not good at cooking. I want to play to my strengths. I can sort of film and edit, and I'll let the local baker or the guy at the cafe who's in at the stove every day, I'll let him play to his strengths. So I like to support small
Ross
business.
Lyon, let the cobblers do the cobbling, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I like to get a little BLT every day, and there should be no shame in that.
Nah, I love that. Just a quick one around videoing content and editing and whatnot. Obviously, a lot of us see the glitz and glamour of the final product. How long do you spend around the editing?
Yeah, well, so I'm getting really like close to just packing up the mouse and the keyboard. I obviously, as we spoke about earlier, I've been doing it since 2016. I've made probably 950 videos on my YouTube channel. I've made more sort of clips and stuff from that. I've been doing it for 8 years, and I wouldn't call myself an editor. I only edit so I can watch myself back, and because no one else would edit for me. So it's rough, to be honest. But then again, I don't really want to sit here and complain. There's obviously people who go to work and get up early and stand on the site all day, and I sort of pick and choose when I roll out of bed and clip up a couple of highlights of myself. But it's it can be quite time consuming, quite frustrating. But it's a part of the gig, and yeah, I don't know. I felt like I developed some skill in it as well. Like the last sort of few videos over the last few years, I've been almost surprised by the level of editing that I've got to, because it's all just been self-taught. But it can be a couple of rough days at the office when you have to knock out one of the bigger videos.
So we've just had Will Graham, Adelaide a bid on him at 26. Gold Coast deciding whether to match. Well, they've matched. Have they matched?
Yeah,
they're going to give up 47 and 51.
Like, why wouldn't you match? It's just match. It's just bloody bidding stuff. Just match.
Oh, and they get Will Graham and they get pick 69
It's like
back,
swapping a house in Scarborough for Cottesloe. Like, yeah, of course I'll swap.
Hey, Kados, Hey, Kados, one of your close mates, Trey, just got drafted pick 18 to the St Kilda Saints today. How are you boys feeling? I think you're there for the draft party, right?
Yeah, there was a long lead in. We were all standing around the phone just waiting for the announcement. Obviously, GWS traded up for it. And then we lost connection for a little bit there. And I don't think you guys were in on it, but you kept padding beautifully. So we were just standing around the couch ready to jump on top of the great man. But look, he's been putting in the graft for a long time. And obviously his highlight, kicking a goal in the biggest game of Ultimate Rezzies that went viral, has just catapulted him into the top 20. So I'm really happy for him. I'm a little bit concerned about the 2K time trial when he goes back at the start of pre-season. But no, I think the Saints have got a ripper there.
Well, I think didn't Matthew Pavlich had to be taken to hospital at his first 2K, so he'd be in fine company.
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm seriously worried about the great man. He'll be right though. He kicked his first goal of the year, so hopefully he can put together the second.
The funny thing about 2K time trials, the big fellas eventually, before, they were no good at it, but they were the good at footballers, like Ruffy and the. So they just changed the whole test for them. Oh, you guys just go run 200s. I was like, how's this fair?
So, Kados, any new content you're planning on rolling out next year? Any different formats? You got the potty, you got the comp, you got all the other stuff. Anything to keep an eye on?
Probably just rinse and repeat. I know what's working at the moment. I'll just keep it simple. Look, I'm excited going into next year. I think to go a bit inside baseball, like I'm at a point where I am keen to palm off like some of the back end stuff that I'm doing, and I'm hoping that can free myself up to not work more, probably lay on the couch and eat dimmies. But look, I'm super excited by like where social media is trending. Like as we sort of spoke about earlier, 6 or 7 years ago, I'd be making videos and trying to drag my mates into the videos, and now there's just like so many content creators around to pick their brain or collaborate with. So yeah, it's a super exciting time for the space. Hopefully the D's can pinch a final, and I'll be there for it all.
Who's the next?
Well, mate, I was in the
content creator. Who's the next one that you reckon we should have an eye out for?
Good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like the Shifter Sheehan of content creator. I'm sort of just always keeping my eye out for some talent.
The Shifter Sheehan of content creators. I like that.
I might have to invest. I might have to sign him or something. But there's a young fella who's been making unreal content for the last little bit. This won't come as a surprise to like a lot of people who, watch some footy YouTube, but there's a young kid called Roaming Has, and he goes to Hawks games every week, and he stands at the race and he interviews all the players, and he asks them funniest questions, like what's your favourite pizza shaped flavour. He throws all these curly questions at them, and they now know where he's going to be and what time. So a lot of the players rock up almost as regulars of the show, and then he just goes around and he causes mischief at the MCG. So I think Roaming Has, if he wants to, and he keeps chipping away at it, he can eat dimmies and roll out of bed at 11 a.m. just like me. So I'm for it.
Well, mate, if you're going to be the Shifter Sheehan, you have to throw out an outlandish comparison for him. So what's his ceiling? Roaming Has. Mr. Beast.
Roaming.
Yeah, Jake Paul.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say roaming Brian, but yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's a Mr. B.
Beautiful.
Lovely. Yeah, thanks, Kados. Thanks for jumping on. We'll keep an eye out for roaming Has. He sounds like the one to watch.
Yeah, this time next year, get the great man on.
We'll do.
Done.
All right,
Awesome,
Kados.
guys. Thanks so much. Enjoy the night.
Thanks for coming on. Legend.
So we're up to the Crows now. Pick 27. The deal's up.
Oscar Ryan. You know a little bit about Oscar Ryan?
Oscar Ryan.
I don't even know.
General defender.
They got defender.
Oh, yeah. Well, they just flicked up a little bolter signal, so that tells you they don't even know.
Yeah.
But line breaker, aggressive, coat leagues form
Gee.
tick. It's over to you boys.
And then quiet under 18 champs. We wouldn't have seen him.
A shifter got him. You know, this is shifter's 40.
So like, why is
1
he?
second, let us pull up some info.
Why is he there?
My bad, man. We don't mean it. So
Do
it's
you
Vic
reckon he's
Country,
there with
man.
someone else?
I don't know.
Vic Country, another Murray Bushranger ranks.
Yeah, no. He's there with
Bush
someone else
Rangers.
because he's in civvies. They're getting him a club
Another
polo
Bushranger
now.
bolter.
Is his parents there? No, they have to be, don't they?
I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, that's why.
Nah, surely.
No, look, he's getting he's not wearing his club polo. He didn't know he was getting picked in the first.
He's got Darcy Wilson on.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, well, let's roll on. We got sounds like we got Dylan Hodge on the line. We'll see if he knows about Oscar Ryan.
He's not one of our TLA clients, so I probably can't give you too much, unfortunately. Sorry, boys, but it sounds like he just got picked and there was a decent roll. So,
Yeah, thanks, mate. Thanks for coming on too. So Dylan Hodge from TLA, stablemate of Luke Morabito, who joined us earlier. How's the night gone for you boys, Dyl?
no, it's been good. We've gone through. I hope Lukey went well before, so it's been good. I think night one's always an exciting night. There isn't too much heartbreak. Tomorrow night's where we get a little bit more nervous for the guys that if they slide through tomorrow night, then the rookie draft can be a bit daunting on Wednesday. So, no, it's all been night. The AFL, they put on a good show again, so we'll wrap up this last pick or two, and that'll be us.
Do you make any calls tonight, mate, to check in on the boys and the clubs and see where they're at, or everyone sort of knows what the situation is?
Tonight was actually a little bit more. We had, I think, Dan Curtin, one of our boys from WA, it was a little bit of uncertainty around the North Melbourne pick. So I don't think anyone really knew the certainty of where Dan could get through to, but Crows obviously saw his value and jumped up. And then Nate Caddy, I think the Bombers got a pretty good win that the Cats might have been jumping in there, and they got up to get him. So it was a little bit throughout the top 10, and then Big Will Green to Sydney, I think was a pretty strong word leading in, and they took Big Will. So no, I didn't have to get on the phones too much tonight, but we'll see how we go tomorrow.
The more
looking
the
forward
night
to
gets
tomorrow,
on, the
mate.
more I love that Adelaide pick, Dan Curtin. The Adelaide Dan Curtin thing gets me very excited.
Yeah, I think because Dan's got he's got so much flexibility between positions he can play. So they've got a lot of young talent in the forward half. I think because Dan can play mid and a little bit of half back as well, and his size and his stature, I don't think it's going to take too long for him to get to be AFL ready. So no, I couldn't agree more. I reckon the Crows have done well there.
Looking forward to tomorrow night. I know you've got Hasty still on the draft board. Are there any other guys you're looking at potentially to go in the second round or rookie?
Yeah, there's a few. I think it's going to be really tight. I think, do we get to 27, 28 picks tonight? I think it's probably only going to be another 30 tomorrow. So, yeah, Angus Hasty, I think will hopefully finish in the feature in the second round tomorrow. And then I've got Kay Delarue, young lad from Big Country, Dandenong Stingrays, Tommy Anastasopoulos. Might feature a bit later. And then Bailey Vanderhoovel, a Geelong VFL mature age rookie, might be a little bit of a chance to feature a little bit later, probably more so on Wednesday. But we'll fingers crossed for the boys. It's going to be a nerve-wracking next 24 hours, I think.
You'd hope Lance Collard would have his name read out pretty soon, eh?
Yeah,
He's
Lance,
just
he's been an interesting...
Hey, St Kilda.
28.
Oh, did he? You've broken
yeah,
it to
St
me.
Kilda,
Well
you
done. I'm waiting outside.
Thanks.
Perfect, there we go. I
Pick
think
28.
the Saints had Lance around their first pick earlier in the night, so I reckon the Saints will be pretty happy that he got through to their second. So that's it's a great result.
That's he'd be one of the more, I don't know, is this fair to say, one of the more exciting players the Saints have drafted recently? Like, they've drafted a lot of dependable dudes, but not someone with the X factor he's got.
I think Ross coming in and a bit of a change in their recruiting obviously knew the importance of goal scoring power and speed. So you bring in Liam Henry from Fremantle, and then they go through and they target someone like Lance. I think it probably shows the direction they're gonna push forward to. So if you're a St Kilda supporter, there'd be some exciting footy in the years to come, I think.
Yeah, beautiful.
I love that. Bill, looking forward to not this draft, but next year's draft. Have you TLA boys got anyone that might go up into that first round or someone to look out for?
Yeah, I think we've got some good boys that are signed up for next year. I'm always a bit hesitant to profile too many kids on media a long way out because it can change a bit. But I think if you look at some guys that have featured in state champs at bottom ages, Josh Smiley from Eastern Rangers, Zave Lindsay from Gippsland Power, Job Shannon from Bendigo Pioneers, are all guys that have put their hands up really early. But as we said, it's 12 months, even though it'll go quick. A lot can change in 12 months. But at the moment, I think those three boys in particular, I think we saw little Isaac Kako in here, who's good mates with Nate Caddy. He's an Essendon and NGA boy, so I think he's always been keen to go high, but if he slips outside 40 next year, he might be one of Nate's teammates. So we've got a few boys next year, which will be exciting.
Does the family ever sit down and talk about the conspiracy that robbed Xavier Ellis of the 2008 Norm Smith medal, mate?
Xavier Ellis brings that up a fair bit more than... No, I think Xavier Ellis, I reckon I've heard him bring that up about 50 times. And tell you what, he was probably right. I reckon Clinton Young was probably more stiff until he done his ankle. So...
right here. So,
yeah. Mate,
I didn't even see you in the corner, Rex. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, mate, I'm looking thin, aren't I? I'm just pencil thin at the moment. Hey, mate, it's good to see you doing so well. What's on tonight, though? It's in the blood. Do you celebrate or you head down to the end of the draft?
Nah, we'll probably wait until probably the end of tomorrow night and Wednesday. We'll have a couple of beers with our team after what's been a long year. So we'll go and celebrate with the guys that are in the room tonight, catch up with a couple of the clubs. But then, to be honest, we go around, we see the clubs now and start trying to pan out who's got the first couple of picks tomorrow and see if we can have a little bit of an impact there. But it's good seeing your face, Xavier. It's good seeing you not in those swimsuits that you've been plugging around as well.
Mate, the last time I saw you, I reckon, actual live, you were heading off to cricket and me and Luke were getting home.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It probably wasn't the only time too, Xavier, to be honest. There was some growing up as a teenager watching you boys at the Hawks. There's some funny stories that I probably can't repeat on here, but that made me grow up fast and realise what was going on, mate, that's for sure.
Yeah, times have changed, mate. It's a good thing. But how are you enjoying the side of the management and everything? You loving it?
Nah, mate, it's awesome. I think there's some stressful times. There's obviously these couple of days, as I said, you really enjoy tonight. You get to see kids that work so hard for so many years realise their dream and then, to be honest, get to work and try and make it in the AFL industry. But there's also some really stressful times that come with families as well. So it's an awesome job. You get to, I think, being a little bit younger as well. I mean, I'm 50 now. You get to build a really close relationship with these guys that are going through and help them try and realise their journey and go through and help the families kind of work through it all as well. So, no, mate, it's very good. Our company at TLA, we've got some great agents, some great staff to bounce off. So we have a lot of fun, but we're lucky enough to manage some really good boys and girls now as well that come through.
Mate, last one from me. Can you rewind back to your brother's draft? Where were you as a youngster? And it's pretty amazing that Colac, number one draft pick. Were you at the draft? Were you at home? Where were you?
Luke's about 12 years older than me, so I was 6. I think I had my grandma and auntie babysitting me, so I can't remember too much of it. All I know is our family were one-eyed Richmond supporters, so it was a bit of a shuffle of colours into the household. So I can't remember too much of it. I'm still you look back and you got to try and find a photo, and I think there was 2 photographers there and 1 video camera, and I'm looking at the moment at about 30 video cameras and 50 cameras catching all the boys. So, I can't remember it too much, mate, but I don't think it changes year on year. No matter where you get picked, it's always an exciting time.
Yeah, well, we've been talking. Carlton selected Ashton Moore. Moore?
Moya.
Yeah, he was one of those ones. You talk about those guys, being talked up in their underage year and then tailing off a bit. He's probably in that boat, right? He was talked about around the pick 1 this time last year and just didn't have the 18 season that he wanted, which is not unusual. Jack Darling was in the same boat, right? So it doesn't say anything about where you're going to go, but it's year to year it can vary about that age, right?
Yeah, I think there's going to be, so I won't talk specifically on Ashton because we don't look after him, but I think coming out of COVID, we're still seeing the effects of some guys when they hit their peak, and you've just got to show your talent. So there's no doubt seeing Ashton, he's got a tremendous amount of talent. I think he had a few injuries throughout the year. There's going to be a lot of guys that go late in this draft that really surprise a few people. So I think there's still going to be another year or two where we have the layover from COVID where kids develop at different times. So if your supporters that are seeing your clubs pick through the 2nd and 3rd round, I think you're going to see some exciting players. We had Noah Longo, second last pick in last year's draft to West Coast. He was picked 58, and now you've seen the year he's had over the Eagles. So
played round 1, eh? Was it round 1?
Yeah, he picked round 1.
Yeah.
No, he was round 1. Yep. Longy debuted round 1 against North here at Marble. It was. So he's going to be a good player for a long time.
Hey, Dill, one last question. We've actually had someone send one in, William Sanders, asking how a young person can get their foot in the door as a player manager.
It's a good question. I think it's always quite a hard job where you can't really search what the player agents do. I think you obviously go through uni degrees. I think it's if you can try and get in contact with someone that's in the industry, whether that's a player or a recruiter or a coach, or have a second-hand conversation just to reach out and try and have a coffee with them or a 10-minute phone call to see what their journey to being a player agent was. I think there's over 100 player agents now, which is a lot, but I think it's one thing being accredited as a player agent, which you can go through the AFLPA, but it's another thing being able to fit in with a company and then try and sign your own players and manage them well throughout their career. So I think if you're Will Sanders, who I think is a Geelong boy, who I know, so if you reach out and try and find a contact there and ask as many questions as possible, it's I think it's definitely worthwhile. It's a very enjoyable job.
Right, so we'll just put your number up on the baseline stories, mate, and just open the door for everyone to come in for a week.
I think Zave Alice said he'll take all the requests and then he'll pass them on to the one. So put up Zave's number for sure.
No, mate, have you signed that nephew of yours yet? How's he going?
Young Cooper, he's doing all right up in Brisbane. So he's I think he grew from a kid to a young man, as you know, Xavier. I don't think a Hodges ever had pecs and a 6-pack, and Cooper's strutting around with his shirt off up in Brisbane. So he's doing really well. He had a great year playing for Morningside, St. Laurie's, and then he was picked in the Queensland under-15s schoolboys team and made All-Australian, which was a great effort. So Cooper's loving his footy. He's a great kid. He's got 3 younger brothers coming through as well. They're all ripping kids and just love sport in general. So I don't think he needs to take it too serious too quick, but you can see with the Northern Academies, particularly Gold Coast this year, footy's getting stronger and stronger up there. So he's going to have an exciting few years.
Let the Lions and the Hawks get in the boxing ring, and whoever comes out gets to take him, right?
I don't think Dad's moving. That's how they go. Good on you, mate.
That'll be staying put, but
yeah. Dad's not moving, and he can keep that top on because he hasn't got the pecs or 6-pack at the moment. But, mate, we're due a beer at some stage, so good to see you.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Hey, still. I think that's us for the night, right? So we're last... Ashton
is that the last pick?
Moya. Last pick. And then so next up we got West Coast starting the next round?
I think so.
So we made it to 29 picks in the first round.
That's crazy. That's half the draft right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not really a first rounder, are you?
No.
There used to be, top 10, first rounder, everyone gets a crack these days.
5 years' time. Yeah, I was a first rounder. I was picked 63.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Done and dusted.
All right, so favourite. Well, let's just throw out a few favourite picks. Who do you think's the best? I'm going early on now. Dan Curtin, Adelaide. Getting more and more excited about that one.
Yeah, I think you're a bit big on playing next year straight away.
No, well, maybe not round one.
Key
but-
defenders get eaten, mate.
Yeah, but he can be third tall. He can be. You just play.
They don't have any tools. They're all injured.
Well, yes, and then he plays.
Yeah, which is No, I think he'd be a good pick, but you still can't rush him. For mine, I am big on McKercher. Can't wait to see what he does. What about? Oh, and of course, the Hawthorn man, Nicky Watson.
Yeah.
I'll have the number on the back, no doubt about that. But what about you boys? Who are you excited by?
Yeah, I'd probably say this would probably be similar to Nate's, but I'd say Nate Caddy at Essendon. I'm really keen to see him kick some snags. That'll be fun.
Look, we need a good forward, so we need Nate Caddy to show up. But you know what? All the pressure's on Harley. Pick one, West Coast to that franchise. I'm just keen to see what he does in his first year.
It's going to be tough. Like, he won't know how big West Coast are, and I don't know whether. And when I lived in Victoria for ages, I didn't appreciate how big West Coast are. They're the biggest financially, and when they're primed, the biggest club in the land.
Yeah.
Really, it's going to be a lot of pressure on the kid.
They've had all those members for 2-3 years have been no good, just waiting for something, and it's all going to fall on him.
Good on him. He'll be paid a fortune, and he'll be treated like royalty. He'll love it.
Yeah, he might get a nice house to stay in for a couple of years as well, maybe.
One in Swanbourne or Cod or something.
Yeah, just a marine parade somewhere overlooking the beach. Yeah, I'm sure they could figure it out.
Bloody oath.
Well, that's us for the night, guys. Thanks for jumping on. Iggy, Nate, good to see you boys rolling out. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks so much. It's been fun.
No worries at all. Glad we were able to finally get together and get something done. So streamer.com.au, home of community sport. Baseline footy on Instagram.
It's the one.
Yeah.
Sports nuts.
Yeah, sports nuts. Get your AFL apparel for Christmas. If they're not sold out already.
Yeah, good luck.
No, good on you boys. Love the content you're doing. It's a new age and a new era, and absolutely love it. And you're getting the traction you deserve. So well done.
Thanks so much, mate. Yeah,
Perfect,
appreciate
guys. Thank you for having us. Everyone get on Streamer. Everyone get on Baseline. Find us where you can, and let's do it again.
Beautiful. See you guys. Thanks. Thanks for the night.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right.